We need AI.
Yeah, for the meeting notes.
Yep.
It does work rather well. You have to go back and check it.
We should try it.
Too.
We're having a technical difficulty on the go-to.
Oh no.
This is muted over here too, so we're ready.
I'm gonna start over.
My computer's not working either. I don't think it's related.
Interesting. It's the giraffe.
Why is my screen?
Oh, that's odd.
Kevin was just here.
Isn't this before? Have we made any effort to have this deleted? What is this?
It's 5:30.
I don't know.
Right.
No, but 5:30.
Thank
You
you.
can start whenever you are.
Thanks, Dan. Okay. Good evening. It is Wednesday, July 8th. This is the Select Board meeting, and it is 5:30 PM.
We don't have go-to.
And we don't have go-to meeting yet? Do we need to wait?
Kevin is in the parking lot.
Okay.
He's still there, I mean, as of a minute ago.
Should I mute the owl again, or? I don't know if it's actually recording anything.
Hey, we're having problems with go-to. Okay. I see it. Are you still having internet problems?
I'm on the internet.
Are
It's
you
not
on-
the internet I'm having.
I'm on Wi-Fi and
My
on.
computer is just
Yeah, me too.
having a moment. I'm rebooting.
Oh, hi.
You thought you were leaving.
We wanted to give you a reason to come in.
Okay.
And that's all it does.
Because you're not logged in.
You just signed it.
Yeah.
Oh, so who signed this out?
If somebody signed it.
Now you should be able to start it.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Absolutely.
Kevin is going when you came in?
It was.
This conference will now be recorded.
That's so weird.
Okay. Okay, I call this meeting to order at 5:32 PM. It's Wednesday, July 8th, and this is the Select Board meeting. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So tonight is another special meeting that we have one agenda item to go over goals and objectives. This is part 2. The last meeting, we basically reviewed objectives from 25-26, and for the most part, we removed anything that was completed or no longer relevant. And tonight, we're building it back up. So what I would like to do is, I think everyone agrees, hopefully not stay here too long tonight. So I think what we should do is try to make sure that everyone gets the opportunity to speak. So when you have your turn, please, give your comments. And then if you have secondary comments, if we can just wait and let everyone get a chance, and then we'll all speak. And I would also like, if you're all okay with it, can we start backwards and move forwards? Because I know that we had a lot of time with economic development, but less time with our later goals. So if we may, I would like us to start with goal number 6, address town buildings and infrastructure, and work our way forward. And I believe our plan is just to add goals, and of course, Steve, I want to make sure that you're able to include goals that you have in these categories as well.
Thank you.
So starting with goal number 6, does anyone have a goal that they would like to see added? We currently have remaining, develop a plan and implement a use for the CHCS recreation space reuse plan between basketball court and 202. And we also still have remaining repurpose area at site of previous family center.
I'm going to rename those 1 and 2.
That makes sense. And then, just so we aren't here all night, how about we go through all these and then we can vote at the end?
Sure. I can start.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
I just want to bring up the transfer station. I know I've been talking about it a while, but I think, what is it? I think our permit's only allotted for so many residents, and we're kind of getting close to that capacity, so we need to start planning for that future, because we're going to outgrow, if we don't do a 10-year study on that now, by the time we outgrow that facility, we're going to be too late if we don't start working on it now. So it'd be nice to get on that radar. I know it's an enterprise fund, but it'd be something to look at.
Well, to that same point, with the communications plan, and we've known the demographics, I'm not sure if it fits under this, but I think how we're going to meet the needs of the larger population bounce in the, what's it, 50 to 64 or
Baby
something
boomers?
age group.
Oh, yeah, we just saw that, you're right.
And also the aging population that's not set to go down until 2050. So understanding how town services are corresponding to those needs, and increasing if necessary, I think would be a forward thing for the select board to think about.
Okay. I just want, yeah, go ahead, Jen. I was thinking about what Lisa said, but yeah.
No,
please.
yeah, I'm thinking about what Lisa said too, and so I'm gonna, again, just pitch, like, maybe we just brainstorm all the ideas that we have and see where they go, under which goal. I don't know.
You mean all the ideas for all of the goals?
Yeah, and like, just see where they go, like,
Can I just,
Please.
point of clarification, did we decide who's typing?
I'm typing. I am
That's
typing.
a really good point of clarification.
I did type John's, but obviously we need to vote on it, so we can't just leave it there without voting on it, but I
Okay.
typed it so that we don't forget it. I would recommend that we try to stay within our goals, and then if somebody
Okay.
feels something should be moved, that they make that recommendation if something's under the wrong goal, just to,
Okay.
because that'll help me with
Yeah.
which tab to
Agree.
go to.
yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think that'd be better.
Fine.
But don't limit your thoughts. You know, if you think it's something, we'll say, great idea. That's going to be a goal number 3.
The other thing I have under infrastructure is the water issues, the wells. I figured that would fit, the water issue would fit under infrastructure. I don't know what the
Well, that
feeling.
might also fit under economic development, but I agree, the water issue is something we have to pay attention to now.
Okay.
And one more thing I had, I don't know where this one fits either, I put under address town buildings infrastructure is a study of town hall space. I don't know where that would fall, like utilization space,
Yeah.
like what can we do to improve the town hall space? Like, do we renovate the staging area? I don't know, we need a study on that, like, and put a second floor there to add more rooms. I know we talked about this, but that'd be nice to figure out, like, or are we using the space correctly? Like, maybe this office needs to be moved into something else. I don't know, just something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it-
we've talked about, reorganization. I don't know that we're the group that's going to be able to define that. I think, I don't even know if that's something you'd want, like an outside resource to take a look at and see what makes sense. But it has been something we've talked about for a number of years.
Yeah, so planning and feasibility studies for capital projects
Yeah.
are allowable expenses under our capital plan. So that's something,
And also listening to what the capital planning committee wants to.
yeah. The only issue with that is if we were to, the goal for this year would be to find a architectural firm or somebody that would do the study, get an estimate, bring it to capital improvement planning committee and get it to town meeting.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the end of the fiscal year.
Yep.
So we wouldn't be able to complete it this year.
No, I just think the start of this, start getting the,
Yeah.
because I mean, I don't think this is gonna be completed. I think it's gonna be probably a 5-6 year project, but we gotta start
Exactly.
somewhere.
Right.
And I'm just trying to make sure that we're utilizing space correctly. That's even renovating the basement somehow to clean that out. I don't know, that would be part of the study. I'm just trying to utilize all the space. I know we walked through this building and we even have the books over there, like stuff that maybe we need to move offices around and move people
Yeah.
around to make it more functional for ADA compatible or something. I don't know, that
I
stuff.
think we have to be careful of money, the financial piece of it, and maybe take a lesson learned from the schools to provide a number of options, including if we spent no money. Not that that's what we do. You know, what changes could we make up to what's the cherry on top look like?
Yeah, I mean, and now I think about it like, and I think future, like if you could add a second floor, I know you talked about this, we could even maybe move the schools into here and sell separate schools.
I have opinions on
Yeah.
different buildings too, but I think having someone outside us come in and make recommendations is I think a good first step.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
So just to make sure that, I know we'll vote on it, this is all related to the space use study idea. Is
Well,
this only for town hall?
Well, we could do Finnerty as well.
Yeah.
But I think building the scope of the study is something we would take on later.
Okay.
Because although, if we're gonna get to that detail tonight, we're gonna be here forever.
Oh, no, I think it's just
Yeah.
a small first
Yeah.
beginning
Right.
step.
I think
Right, because where do we?
what's
where do we
important
stop
is we're
it?
gonna study the space, and then
Okay.
we'll talk about the scope of that study
Okay.
later. Yeah,
All right.
right, yeah.
Other items for address town buildings and infrastructure?
Get mine.
I did. I don't have anything on
I
this
don't end
topic.
this topic either. Actually, the one I was thinking that was a police-based study. So then what we probably need to do is we need to probably flesh these out a little bit more and vote on them. Thank you for taking
Yeah,
notes.
so I think what I'd prefer is that we vote, and then if you can all help me to type up the action items so it reads correctly.
Yeah, last year what we did is tonight's vote, if we get to that point, was only to approve like a draft, and then we cleaned it up and then brought it back to the board. We emailed it first, got your, edits, and then we brought it to another meeting for final.
That is true, but, so last year I was tasked with typing up all of the action items first, and I had like complete sentences. I don't even have complete sentences right now.
Yeah.
Like number 4 just says water.
Yeah.
I just want some help in, yeah, and then we can clean it up further, but I would like a coherent sentence.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I had 3 items that were added: the transfer station, the water issue, and town hall space study. Okay.
As I'm peering over your shoulder.
Okay, yeah. Did you have anything else beyond that, Steve?
Oh, I have, I don't know where they fit in, but let me, we need to complete the sale of 6 Berkshire Ave. We need to figure out what we're gonna do with 8 Berkshire Ave, if we're gonna,
So I thought we had that all under economic development initially.
yeah, that's why I don't know where we wanna put it. And in the Tadjil building, so, what we're gonna do with that.
Right.
Those are big items.
Are
They
you
could
proposing
go-
they fit better under address town buildings and infrastructure?
I'm just throwing them out there, if,
Yeah.
I would argue that they do fit better under this because now knowing kind of what our situation is with water resources, I don't know how much these buildings are about economic development as much as they are about managing our infrastructure.
I kinda think they're both,
I could see how they'd be both, but
So it doesn't matter to me where they go. They're priorities, so maybe under economic development, just because they're priorities.
so do you want me to move them?
Why don't you type them out now like
Okay.
you're doing so we don't lose them? And to your point, Steve, we always can move them around too when
Yeah.
everything's finalized in front of us. Do you want us to give you more language than what you have other than water?
Yeah, if you want to do that now, we can do that now or whenever you want. It's up to you.
I'm just wondering, do we want to wait until the 20th when we get the full report? We could come back to that once we have that, because then we'd be able to really identify what they are.
Okay.
What's the full report? What are you talking about?
You mean when this is all typed up and presented again?
No, the water district's coming.
Just the
in
water,
front of
I'm
us.
just saying the water issue. There may
You mean when
be-
the water district comes and speaks to us?
Mhm.
Well, that'll delay us from voting until August.
Just on that
We
one
can always
item.
edit
I think-
and
I
revote
mean, you
on
could
an
just-
item.
You can put a generic statement like, work on water issue
Yeah, I don't know why we
for town.
can't just do that.
Because then
Something not in
and
the
kind of
water,
leave it
you
up
can't.
to Steve as he sees. I mean, he's gonna work on it, if that makes sense, if that means.
Well, we're
that-
gonna have quarterly
Yeah.
updates too.
Yeah.
I don't know how specific we actually need to be.
So we're just gonna put water.
I just wrote
She's typing some
something.
more. Just so, if you don't mind, Nicole, why don't we just read through all of these
Yep.
you've typed out, and then we can add any language, and we're doing well.
So number 1 and 2 we're skipping because those were already on there.
Yep.
Okay, number 3, conduct a 10-year study for suitability and capacity of the transfer station.
Okay.
Number 3, address water issues in town impacting ability to move forward with meaningful economic development. Number 4, ensure services and infrastructure are prepared for the aging larger demographic.
I actually have wording for this.
Okay, hang on a minute.
That's number 5, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lisa. Do you want me to just take it all out?
No, let me read it first, see what you think. Develop and present to the select board a changing demographic strategy that identifies current and projected demographic trends and recommends initiatives to attract business, housing, healthcare, recreation, and community services that meet the evolving needs of Belchertown's residents with implementation recommendations and annual progress reporting.
Is that
So
not,
it's basically
It's not
the
official.
changing demographic strategy and as applied to the different areas of town services.
I'm confused because I feel like that's the age and dementia friendly plan. Is that
I
not,
can't hear you.
is that not the age and dementia friendly plan?
I don't think so. This is
How
the
was-
overall plan for the town.
How is that different? I'm confused.
I mean, if you don't think we need to address it.
I
that's
didn't
okay.
say that. I said, I don't understand how that differs from the plan that was put together very recently and adopted.
What I was thinking is, I think it's important. I think we just received information that they said that our population will likely cap in 2030, which is just around the corner. So how do we make this an attainable goal for this year?
By working with the committees such as the age and dementia, but actually making it something that we have on our radar too. It's not something that's often talked about in any serious way by this board. And I'd like to see it be something that we do. We have aging demographics here. That's not scheduled to change until 2050. That doesn't mean we ignore everybody else, but if we don't take a meaningful look at how the town is going to meet the needs of this larger population, my concern is that maybe they will have to move. And so if there is a will to do this, I'd like us to be involved in it. And
No, I agree. I'm thinking about how can we make it something that's achievable this year without just making this create a 3-year plan. What do you think, Steve?
Well, I'm trying to think of what's already been done.
Right,
You know,
that's,
Jen mentioned one report. I think
Right.
the senior services department did like a needs, a few years back, they did some sort of a needs analysis, long-term planning.
Yeah.
Well-
They just launched the Memory Cafe, which was in direct response.
Here's
I
where,
think Lisa's thinking bigger.
yeah,
She's talking about
let's take a look at economic development.
housing for
Economic
seniors.
development.
Yeah, she's not talking
Yeah.
the Memory Cafe.
Yeah.
But I don't think that
Economic
thing-
development used to be
In the goal.
something that was not something that the board took on or the whole town took on. It was done by a patchwork of dedicated people who volunteered or part-time employees. Now it's something that the whole town is involved in. I'd like to see that happen with this goal as well.
Yeah, so what does the deliverable look like?
Right, yeah,
I guess that's where I'm,
right. I agree, because I think let's find a way then to make this a SMART goal. So it's measurable, attainable, time-bound.
My opinion is that this goal really is about economic development, and that right now we're not in a position where we can address it yet.
I mean, I just feel like I'm looking at the age and friendly dementia, and there are many action items with many, I mean, you're going through the planning matrix right now. Are these not in there?
I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Okay, because there's lots of recommendations and lots of
Can you
different.
give a couple examples so
Yeah.
we can see?
Sure, but I can't get it on my laptop, so. Let's see, goal, build awareness, acceptance, and a culture of support for people living with dementia and the people who care for them. That's for dementia, communication, information, and technology, ensure that all residents have access to information about policies and programs that provide opportunities for health and community engagement, with a whole bunch of action items under that. Facilitate a culture of support and acceptance for older adults and people living with dementia. I mean, there's like a wealth of, like, there's literally a whole plan in
But
here.
is there anything that addresses their housing and really it's really about
It's,
their housing?
Housing.
Well,
and
it's-
whether it's a
So are
nursing
you looking
home
for-
or-
well, but it's also, we're talking not people who are, 75 or 80.
Right, for-
50,
We're
so-
talking 40, I think it was 45 to 64, 63. And so, I mean, those recommendations are fine. You know what, I'm bringing this up because it is a burgeoning population. But I'm not going to beat this to death. If you think the age and dementia group covers this, then,
So,
I'm, I can only say what I think.
so again, the way that these plans work is they need to be implemented, which means that eyes need to be on them, which means that implementation is happening
yep.
according to the lead entities that are in the group. So if we as a board, I'm not saying we shouldn't, but if we as a board don't look at what they've already recommended first, then it was
I think to Nicole's point, I was talking on a much higher level.
You're thinking about just the changing demographic of our town,
Yes.
not just the senior-most citizens.
That's right.
Okay. So, and then I don't want to belabor it too much longer, but how do we make that into an actionable item? Is that a survey? Is that a study?
I'm wondering if it's a grant study. I mean, how do towns prepare for populations that are aging where it doesn't look like younger members are coming into a community? Is that a Collins Center thing? Or a DLS thing? I don't know.
maybe PVPC for planning. I mean, there are items that are obvious, like aging population is probably going to result in more ambulance calls, for example.
Right. And a need for housing for that age range of folks.
So maybe that needs to go into the public safety section.
Well,
And
it's,
Right.
I don't know where it would fall in, but I guess that sounds to me like this is a huge planning exercise, which to Nicole's point, is probably a grant-funded project, not a local initiative.
What I had around this for objectives, I don't want to bring in because I just want to put this out there to see if this is something that people think is important for the town to focus on. And if so, then I'd like to brainstorm what they would be. I have some, but
I would recommend we put this under economic development because no matter what our situation with our water resources, it's something that has to be addressed. I mean, regardless, it's not something that a quad board meeting
I agree.
can
But-
decide if it's appropriate or not. It just is appropriate.
There are some that I'm not sure fit under there,
Yeah.
like John mentioned.
Yeah.
Emergency
But you gotta put it somewhere.
preparedness
Yeah, you gotta put.
and environmental stewardship. That there, that I'm not sure,
Or we split it up into multiple tabs.
but it's a gut feeling that because this is the largest population in town,
Yeah.
and it's going to continue to be for some time, that I think it's important that the select board have this top of mind.
So
Who is the age and dementia liaison?
It was me.
Um,
Well,
Okay.
yeah,
It's me
now it's
I
you.
just
Now
took
it's
over.
John, sorry.
So John can bring what he's getting from them, we can have them come in front of the board. But that age and dementia, I wouldn't put 45 to maybe 60 in that group. And I think that's a lost or missed opportunity.
So,
I'm fine wherever it goes, just as long as we have a consciousness around it.
right, so maybe it does fit under economic, maybe it falls under objective 5, strengthen long-term planning. It's not conservation or environmental, but maybe that's where it fits.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah. for one,
I think
but-
the action item is very broad, and I think that's part of why we're struggling with it.
Yeah.
Because changing demographics includes, like I said earlier, the ambulance calls versus elderly, but it also, what do we need for schools with children?
Yep.
I mean, what you're saying is like a huge, huge study, and I think that's the problem.
I can
Changing the
literally break this
demographics
down
is,
to my objectives,
yeah.
but that's a good example. Nicole has brought this up before, and I agree. If we had, I know we have a part-time social worker, we share it, the police department, with another town.
The Board of Health, the nurse?
We have a
No,
health nurse.
Yeah.
I was talking to Kevin about this. I don't know how much time it is.
I don't
But-
think it's much.
It does more of a social work
Oh, we do,
intervention.
we do have somebody where if there's some abuse going on in a home,
Yeah.
they make themselves available to
Yeah,
residents.
and in fact, I think it's 2.5 days a week. So, that and also the many calls that go out around, around someone falling, or, does that need like a fire truck to go out to it as well as an ambulance? Are there other alternatives that other towns use?
May I recommend, and I want to cut you off, may I recommend that we table this one? Let's see where the evening progresses. And then maybe we'll have like exactly the pinpoint, but this is where it belongs.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Because I don't disagree. I think we haven't found its home
We're gonna have to end up
yet.
splitting them up between tabs. I think that's more what it's gonna be.
Okay,
Yeah,
Depending on which one it falls
All right.
under.
but we agree that this is something that is worth the board's attention.
I do.
yeah, the changing
Absolutely.
demographic of town,
Yeah, I
sure.
mean, it's
Just
forward
on to where it
thinking.
belongs.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll have a parking lot of sorts. All right, but thank you for that. Does anyone else have any other items for just address town building
I was still
infrastructure?
reading you want me
Oh,
to
thank
continue
you.
to read? Okay.
Please do.
Study of how to maximize space at town buildings to make them more functional. Complete sale of 6 Berkshire, decide what to do with 8 Berkshire, decide what to do with Tatchell.
Yeah, and we'll
I do want to
formalize
word
the
that
language a
nicer.
The
little.
last 3 have been on there for years.
Yeah,
Well, do we need 6? I mean, we already
well,
signed purchase and sale, didn't we?
It needs to
no,
stay on there.
it was
Okay.
delayed, right?
I don't think we take it off yet.
Okay.
Okay, I'm fine with all of those. Do we want, I know Steve, you said we'll clean these up and then we'll vote. Does anyone feel the need to vote on these at the moment, or can we just keep moving forward?
Keep moving forward and vote at the end, and just go through them all at the end.
Yeah.
And then we'll vote basically for the draft, and then we'll have a finalized document, okay? All right, then let's go ahead and let's move but to goal 5, since we're working backward. Which is achieve long-term fiscal sustainability. So from last week, we still have form a government study committee. We also maintain, provide a cost-benefit analysis for incentivizing employees to waive health insurance benefits. We maintained, implement a long-term plan to incentivize movement of members from PPO to HMO on the health insurance benefits. Does anyone want to edit any of those 3?
Yeah, so Steve, I know we talked about number 4, about the waivers, and I know that, did Mark present to us on this, and was his determination that this is not feasible?
We're on goal 5?
Yeah, a goal 5 under objective 3, so the
Oh, I'm
related
Provide a
insurance.
cost-benefit analysis for incentivizing employees to waive health insurance benefits.
Yes.
Yes.
He had a lot of concerns about that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That we should do that?
correct, because of all, he said if we were going to do it, we should try to do it in cycle with all the union contracts.
Oh, that's right.
Break it out separately.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I know that other towns are doing it and getting, I think one town was saying they have, almost 100% that went into it. I want to say that was Duxbury.
If we wait for that, we have to wait 3 years.
We would, yeah.
I don't know where our landscape's gonna be in 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I can promise you, health insurance rates won't be lower.
No,
Oh, but we're
So-
talking about waiving insurance benefits.
Correct.
Number
Yeah.
5, so Mark rendered an opinion on incentivizing people to waive.
Yes,
Okay,
okay.
that's the one we're talking about.
but Lisa is, yeah, I agree.
So Lisa
But-
jumped to 5.
No, nobody's talking about 5 yet. We're all still on 4.
What happened in Duxbury? 100% of the people
No.
waived health insurance?
I don't know. I heard this on a podcast, and they was like, oh, we got a great, we got a great turnout. So I'll go and listen to it again. I could be wrong.
Well, I'm wondering if it's number 5, which is to get people from the PPO to the
the
A.
That is what I'm
HMO.
talking about. I'm
That's what I said, so you jumped to number 5 on us, okay.
Okay, so, sure.
sorry.
And I
Right, so
think
for with
number
number-
5 is what Pathfinder did, similar
Yeah.
to what Pathfinder did.
Yeah.
And I do really feel strongly about keeping that one on there because,
Yeah,
the necessity for a PPO in a state where we have some of the best hospitals in the country is just,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
No,
was
that's okay.
jumping to 5.
Yeah, no, we were all confused, that's why I was trying to
I
clarify.
know many companies are eliminating their PPO programs. It's
Yeah.
no longer an option.
yep.
So I'm fine with number 5. Jumping back to number 4.
Yes, back to 4.
Back to number 4. So do we need to remove that because we've received legal counsel guidance that we shouldn't have that as a goal?
I kind of don't want to because I don't want to say that I'm not in agreement with what council said. I think it requires more research. And if it does require getting on cycle with the union contracts, then that's 3 years down the road, then okay, that's fine, I'm fine with that too. And that's where my comment came from, where rates are only going to go up. So we should still, if this is a goal that we can still work toward, we should. Even if it takes 3 years. So it may not be achievable this year, but I don't want to take it off.
And it could be working towards.
Yeah.
And
Like what
I don't
progress?
understand contract negotiations as well as I should, or health benefits as well as I should, but every year the cost changes. That's not written into their contract. So if they were given an incentive to leave, how would that be needed to be negotiated in the contract? I don't understand.
We're going to have to
Get more information.
get more information on that. So if you want to leave it on, I can have council,
Maybe we leave it on, if
Provide
we're not
those
voting on
opinions,
the finalized list tonight anyway. Maybe we'll know by next.
I'm going to change my mind on this. If this is just ongoing and there's nothing that can be done this year,
Right, then why is it on here?
then why is it on here?
because I don't want to lose sight of it when contract renewals come up.
But is this the only place that we don't lose sight of it? First of all, I don't think we're going to lose sight of it, because if insurance costs keep jumping, then this is going to be front and center. It's more, is what can really be achieved this year. And if there is something that can be achieved this year, I'm all ears.
Yeah, that's my last thought too, is that I know that when we go to renegotiate, right, and Nicole knows this better than I do, we go to renegotiate our rates with the health insurance company, that happens annually. So wouldn't we want this as a goal right now?
Why don't we leave it on tentatively?
Okay, get some more information.
And we can have Joanne come in. She probably has, better understanding of how
Okay.
this
Of
works.
what we can actually do this year?
And what we can actually do.
Okay.
She spoke to Mark Terry
Okay.
in length about it. I know he presented to the board as well, but I think she had a lot of other conversations with
Okay.
him, so.
All right, so I guess we're leaving them as is at the moment. Anybody have any additions to this section?
I have a couple.
Okay.
Identify funding for assistant town manager and define like the finance director position. I know we've been working on it, but it'd be nice to like define the role as we transition that role. I know Jill's working on it, but like just spell it out, like what the duties are gonna be and how it's gonna, who's gonna be in charge of
Can we
what.
have that under
Yeah.
the orange tab?
See, I don't have
One of them?
color, so you guys might have
That's
color.
probably HR, yeah.
So, yeah, so.
I thought we
dark
kept the
orange
financial
tab,
director.
Yeah, implement recommendations of organizational structure review of the
Okay, so that's there.
finance department. But it doesn't address an assistant town manager position.
Mm-hmm.
But we could add to that one and just
Cause we just
add-
had the fire chief in there, that one, the deputy fire chief last time, so I was just putting the assistant
I
town
see.
manager under this same one, but we can move it.
Okay, I mean, we still haven't decided what we want that to look like in terms of who we want in that role. Is it
Well,
an
not who,
assistant?
but what, I know what you
The
mean.
position, is it a
Yeah.
chief of staff? Is it a assistant town manager? We can, I think we should edit goal number 4, item number 8 to be all encompassing on that.
Oh, we're on goal 4 now?
No, not yet.
I think we still need to identify funding first, cause it doesn't,
Well, and justification.
I need a clean
We
sheet of
do,
paper. Jen's
we have a
whiteboard.
finance director now, we have a second planner specific to economic development. So I think part of this, especially for taxpayers, is to understand that, we're continuing to add positions and what the justification is for it, and how it will benefit the town.
Okay. So, John, to your point, financial director's already in there, which we'll get to in a minute. I added assistant town manager in the parking lot, unless you want to place it anywhere right now. Okay, what were your other items? You had more?
that's it, I put funding for wells, but the wells is for
sorry,
water. Funding for
Water.
water, but that's all
That's
under
already-
one thing, so I was just trying to get it all out. And then tri-board meetings, we have a schedule and we voted on that last, so that's already taken care of that stuff.
Okay. Jen, do you have any for this section? Please?
Under,
Oh, I do, actually. I want to take credit cards.
You want to take credit
Oh,
cards?
yes.
So you mean so that like the BCC has the ability to collect
I
payments?
want, you go to the town beach and you can use a credit card. I want,
So we need to.
whatever
get a
System.
vendor, like
Right.
Stripe or something like that.
yeah, and I know that I've talked with Kyle about it, and I know there's challenges to it, but I'd love for the town. as
So
a whole
establish
to figure
electronic
out a
payment
way.
system.
people are going cashless, so it only makes sense. that-
Totally.
We need an objective for that, because if you look at the objectives right now, there is not one I can easily put it under. So I think we're gonna need to create one.
What do you guys think of move to a cashless community, or,
It's probably more of an expand, because we already have credit
have
card
some,
readers in
right.
some places. We already have online payment in some places.
We should have it all, like, transportation should be able to take credit cards now. We go into rec, you should be able to take a credit card
Yeah,
or a debit card,
So
whatever.
expand is the right
Expand,
term.
yeah.
expand.
Yeah.
Does that
It could
belong
go
under
under
long-term or
Well, it
economic?
could be like one, because it could, well, if we took out implement recommendations from the DLS to improve financial operations, we can just say improve.
Well,
Our
yeah.
like objective is
I like that.
improving.
Improve financial operations.
Yeah.
by adding,
Well,
credit
that'll
card.
be an action item, right?
Right, so improve financial operations, great.
Okay, so that's going to be objective number 4.
Yep,
I don't have an action item number for it because I'm going to renumber everything. And then what is the action called?
Add a credit card option for payment. And is that across town
Or a cashless system.
and are we including events?
Just, I don't know who takes what
Establish,
anywhere.
yeah.
I feel like we don't even know,
Yeah, I don't know if we can answer that question.
I don't even know who's taking
I
what,
just don't want to
how
keep
people are
it,
taking.
I want it measurable, remember?
Yeah.
So understanding what the parameters are around that would be helpful. I think it's a great idea,
Yeah.
long overdue.
yeah.
Can somebody help me to form that action item?
I was thinking establish townwide electronic payment system.
Okay.
Townwide
Electronic
electronic
payment system.
payment system. Townwide, so we are including
Where possible?
events.
Where possible,
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
necessarily know if all events are,
Well, if I want to pay, because this happened to me at the fair, if I want to pay with my debit card for a T-shirt, shouldn't I be able to?
The fair committee takes credit card.
But the fairs doesn't fall into town because it's the Friends of the Fairs, so it's a whole separate.
Yeah,
Well,
it is
that's-
Friends of the Fair, yeah.
then you have a whole bunch of organizations that are fundraising, you have student groups. I mean, how do we
can't
equip everybody with a
Well,
credit
that's
card?
why I'm saying, what are the parameters?
Right.
So-
And I can't answer that tonight.
That's why I
yeah,
put where
mean,
possible.
Yeah.
If it's possible, like we could get like a town square reader that you can like check out and have some
Right,
process.
but then you have to make sure that if the Stingrays are selling T-shirts and the,
So I'm.
No, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I would just
it's
limit
a
it to
question,
town
like do an
departments.
analysis.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and
So-
I mean,
Here's the thing, maybe, how about if we do this? How about if we don't answer the question, but put it out as a objective or an action item to define what we mean by this, so that we're not trying to do this on the fly. You could come back, Steve, with recommendations on, because maybe the finance committee should weigh in on it. I don't know. Jill might
yeah,
have
Jill will have
some,
ideas,
yeah, it's probably the
Issues.
treasurer collector.
yeah.
so, but, and then come back with some recommendations, and then based on the recommendations, we can vote on that. And I guess that's the end of the goal.
So instead of doing establish a townwide payment system, should we do, create a policy, develop a policy? Okay. I'll read it to you in
I
a minute.
wouldn't
Let me
have a
type it out.
policy because we just need to create the system. We just
Yeah,
need
we
electronic
system.
Right.
card reader.
Like a
And
thrift
implement it
store
where
at the
we
senior
can.
center doesn't take credit cards,
So no policy,
right?
John?
But I'm sure at the
No,
senior center.
just
you can use a credit card.
another
Wait, we
form of
got two
payment.
people
so-
talking.
Yeah, we do.
Jen's talking to Steve, John's talking to us. So,
So if I can just use an example, which may help or may not, I'm currently implementing Stripe on campus at my work. And so it is an electronic payment system and is intended for vendors to pay us. And the biggest hangup is that we have to create a new budget line. So maybe it's something like that.
but that's
Yeah,
why I do think
Yeah.
we need to have more time, and why I'm suggesting
Right.
maybe Steve come back and,
Yeah.
give us recommendations.
Yeah.
And maybe we can say, once the recommendations are given, to follow through with actionable items that Steve identifies.
Okay, so.
How's that?
Research feasibility of a townwide electronic payment system where possible.
Sure. Sounds great.
And extra bonus points for implementing it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So policy implementation.
Okay. Jen, any others for this category? Lisa, do you have any?
under form, a government committee, is that here?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. How are we defining the committee's purpose, and does this board have input into what the purpose is on that? And what the governance structure would be?
So I think this is a recommendation from the Division of Local Services.
No, I understand
so-
that.
So it should be defined already how it would be created.
But I'm saying for that report, shouldn't it include what the purpose is, what the structure would be, how do we measure success on it? I don't know, I'm just coming up with, as part of the report.
Yeah, Steve, please.
So last year, when I looked into this, I contacted Ludlow, who worked with the Collins Center, and I spoke to the Collins Center. This is oversimplified by saying form a committee.
Yeah.
What typically would happen is either you would work with a group like the Collins Center, or you would work with your council, town council, because they have the people that understand the laws behind the forms of government and how they all work. So step one would be to get somebody in here, either from council or the Collins Center, have them sit with the board and glean what we want for an outcome.
Well, council's going to cost money.
Right.
Is Collins Center going to do it for free?
No, that'd be a grant.
And
Yeah.
that's why I'm
Well,
saying
that's what I mean,
we
for
need,
free.
part of this is, we need to develop what they are.
So the Collins Center would probably come out here for free to work through that.
Right.
They would
Sure.
develop a scope of work and a cost estimate that we would use for grant writing. When the
Right.
grant is in place, then we would engage with the Collins Center. We would form a committee. They would advise us the kind of residents that we should be putting on the committee.
That's right.
You know.
And
So,
it should be a
yeah.
diverse and qualified membership, and
So, yeah, so
So I
that
think we're
shouldn't be,
saying-
we shouldn't even try to define any of this tonight. We should just say,
Form
you
a
know,
governance.
start the process, if that's what you want to do, and then I can set up a time
yeah.
for them to come out.
But we're talking about what are the action items that we want to go with this, so just having, form the governance
Right.
committee without these things seems like it's so general as to be non-specific.
Correct.
Right.
I think that step one is to, get somebody in front of the board to start talking about what it's going to look like. Step two would be to develop a scope of work and a budget. Step three would be
A
to
purpose,
obtain a grant.
structure, membership, annual work plan, transparency, public engagement,
So
and effectiveness.
would it be helpful if we just made this a little bit longer and said, engage the Collins Center to define a scope of work for a government study committee?
But it might not be them, though, right?
Well, I'm just going to put it on record right now. I do not support us paying council to come in here and advise us on this at all. I do not support the money going to council on that.
Do you support the Collins Center?
I don't support this action item, but I lost on that vote last week. I believe there are other things, and I get it, there are multiple components to this action item. The part that I do not support is going to a representative form of government. That is the part that makes me shy away from this action item.
Sure. But it's a study, and it may not come to that. There are other aspects.
Yeah, but we haven't taken the appropriate steps first
This
to
is,
remedy the one of the issues of this.
I think we just leave it alone, and then Steve the action item is whatever, and Steve can just say the progress, whatever you did. You did X, Y, Z. 1, you called the Collins Centers, you reached out. 2, you did this. That would be your update. So we have the action item, and then the progress.
We don't
would
have
be-
any of the things I just listed.
He will, though, in his progress report.
Right, and
That would be under him to determine how he's going to meet that process,
right,
if that
I
makes
think that's
sense.
up to Steve, yeah.
We're kind of leaving it open for you. That's how I interpret it. For you to,
Well, I think we're only going to get as far as developing a scope and a budget, because then we're
Yeah.
waiting for a grant. We even if, we didn't budget in our legal fund to cover a study. So even if we wanted to use council, we would still have to find a secondary source of funding, which would be a grant. So I guess to Nicole's point, I agree, we're not gonna use our budget to fund this.
Right.
That's just out of the question. So if we're gonna get a grant, who do we hire with that grant money? Council or Collins Center? So I think step one, again, is to get somebody in here, figure out, what we wanna look at, develop the scope in the budget.
So in
And
that
then-
scope,
But we're not gonna make it past funding until we get a grant.
right, but even in the scope for funding purposes, I've done a bunch of grants over my lifetime, and you do need to add in,
You need to
what
identify
you're
those things,
expecting.
Yes,
And-
that'll be part of the scope, correct.
so, okay, well, I can send this to you, and we don't have to have it on the goals list, if that's better for the
We
group.
voted on it last
Yeah, we
time, we're
voted
gonna
have
keep it on here.
Should the action item be changed to say obtain a grant to form a government study committee?
Or obtain funding.
Or apply for a grant.
Tying my performance to a grant is.
No, I know.
I think, initiate the process to form a government study committee is the goal. I don't know how far we're gonna get into that process this year, because again, the roadblock is gonna be funding. Until we address the funding, it's not gonna go any further.
Since we did technically vote on this one, I wonder if we're going to change it, we should probably actually go ahead and vote.
So can I read what I just changed it to?
But I want to make sure everyone agrees, because initiate may not feel sturdy enough.
Okay. So I wrote, initiate the process to form a government study committee, and then in parentheses, DLS number 1.
I don't think that's strong enough.
I think if you just leave form and then you're making progress and you just update your progress. Like you accomplish part of the goal. It's gonna be ongoing. It's not gonna be accomplished this year. It's just gonna be, the action item is form a government study committee. So you're breaking it down the way you want to, not,
I just think we're getting in the weeds.
Getting in the weeds. Okay.
Or I can just, you want me to just leave it at form a government study committee?
Yeah, let's leave it. We did vote on it last time. But I think, Steve, you have been heard that it is impossible that you can actually probably get to this step without any grant funding. So there are steps that need to be taken in order to even apply for a grant.
So I will initiate the process and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have it on record that we need to recognize you probably cannot complete this process. Anyone have any other items?
So can I just ask,
Yeah.
I don't.
No.
Does anybody else have items before I ask
I
my
had one
question?
more, I'm not sure if it belongs here, just for increased town's capacities to secure external funding through grants. I wanted to say apply for cultural district designation.
Yeah.
But isn't that something that's going to happen, that's already underway? Is this just a way to be able to check something off?
It's a big thing to
It's a
check off.
big thing, and if we do get it, we open up a whole new booklet of grants.
oh, not that would fit
Right,
under
but the
economic
process-
development and strategic land planning.
But the process is already underway. I mean, we're, what are we doing, Jen? We're extending the position of the cultural district manager in order to apply for the grant. Like I don't understand. I mean, are we just putting it on here even though it's already underway, just so that we can check it off and
Oh,
say
you're
it's
saying,
completed?
is it ongoing?
Not ongoing. I mean, it's, the wheels are moving, right? We're doing this.
The cultural district application?
Yeah, the application
We
is
won't
happening.
find out about this till next.
I'm not talking about the decision. I'm talking about the
But
application.
we do still need to decide as a board if we support doing that.
Right. And we don't have to add this. I was just thinking, I thought that this is a very clear goal of interest for me. I don't know if it is for the board.
So if we don't know
And we
as
have
a
not
board
applied.
if we support it, then we really can't put it on as an action item until we all vote on whether we support it or not. I didn't know we had to support it
Well, I
as a
mean, we
board.
do at some point have to, as part of the application process, have a formal resolution.
Just like how we write any letter of
Like a
support for
board vote.
grants, like how we write
Yeah,
them for Dawn all the time.
MCC said they would give us a template, but
Okay.
it could be as simple, it doesn't need to go to town meeting, it could be a board vote.
I mean, I have to weigh in here. If achieving cultural district designation is a goal of the board, then it should be on our goals and objectives.
Right.
Yes, but if we fail to achieve it, does that go, why does that come back on you?
It doesn't.
It doesn't, these are our goals.
I said apply.
Yeah, these are.
These are our goals, these are
You
our.
did, you did, you did.
Yeah, I didn't say achieve intentionally because that should not be
All
on.
right, so give me the wording,
Apply
apply.
for cultural district designation.
I mean, there
that's
should be
under-
some reference to the cultural district designation, I guess.
You
that's
want to
my
put
point.
this under finance?
I thought it would go
So
under,
under achieve long-term fiscal sustainability, objective 2 is increase the town's capacity to secure external funding through grants.
Okay.
Now, we don't
That's-
have to have it
That's
there.
really for Dawn. I mean,
But we're.
It's the
again,
town.
Right, the town, right? Like, what are our goals for the town? for
Right.
This
well, I
year?
understand goals for the town.
Right, so that, we can move it wherever you all think is better, but I thought that made perfect sense.
I think
because
it's
that would
appropriate there.
increase
Yeah.
our
Oh,
capacity
here,
to secure.
then I have another
funding.
goal then.
Okay. Go for it.
So, so I would like for us to have a plan of like what are our priority projects. So we have project lists, and I've talked with Dawn about this. She already has like a list of all the projects that are floating around and ideas that people have in town.
What do you mean by projects?
Exactly. There's lots of them.
Well, give an example.
The rec Foley fields,
Fields, bathroom.
bathroom, concession stand, the pocket
Rail
park, the
trail.
river walk, the rail trail.
So it's
all
a
of the
progress
projects.
report on
No,
wrapped
so
up.
what I'd like to have us, what I'd like Dawn to work on with the departments is a complete list of all the projects, and then we should all be prioritizing them so that when grant opportunities roll around, we can say, okay, this is the next project, we're gonna go for a grant, so that we're not competing with ourselves and we're not going squirrel, squirrel, squirrel all the time.
Squirrel.
So it's like a town wish list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the town list of like identified projects.
What I like about that, and this does go into our conversation we had 2 weeks ago, is we have lots of different committees doing lots of different things. We don't have one person that basically knows it all and can catch when, this person's already working on this. And I've been a proponent of that for a long time.
Clarification, is it the role of the select board to prioritize these items? I want to be able to, but is that truly our role?
I mean, it depends, because they fall under different departments and there's different grant opportunities. So thus far, Dawn has a burgeoning list of the projects. She has been the collector of projects, and she has so far sat down stakeholders to talk about the projects, and that work sort of stalled because of the one-stop application and all the, it's like a very busy grant season right now, so like that will happen probably August, September.
But does she touch all the grants?
Yeah, she's our grant, sure.
Excuse
I
me?
mean, she's doing all the grants.
Did she say yes?
Yes.
Yes.
she said
Oh,
yes.
good.
Yeah, I
Then
would
that
think-
makes-
Except for
that
like
makes-
maybe-
That makes sense.
Except for maybe like ones in the police department, they take. care
Yeah,
of
I mean, there's
grants.
some like the senior center food service.
Well, there's going to be outliers,
So,
but
yeah, when Don came on board, I had a department head meeting and we brainstormed projects. Don took notes,
yeah.
created a list so that as grant opportunities become available, she would have some indication on what to be focusing on. That list has never been prioritized. So,
Okay.
personally, I think it should be prioritized because I think, everybody has ideas on what they want to do.
Yeah.
We still only have so much capacity to handle these projects.
Exactly.
And if they're not prioritized and we're doing too many of them, or we start on a project and somebody says, well, why are you working on that? Now that happens a lot in my world.
Yep.
I got a whole group here that calls me up and says, why did we start working on that? Well, because it was on the list and a grant came available. It's as simple as
Well,
that.
sometimes that's a good thing.
Correct, but sometimes
And
it's not.
sometimes, I mean, if an opportunity comes up
Yeah.
that's too good to pass up,
Yeah. And I guarantee you, if an opportunity comes up that's too good to pass, we're gonna jump at it.
Yeah.
But-
Sure.
But if we had some indication of what the select board's priorities were, then, that would also help us make those decisions.
I love that.
So I'm good with that.
Yeah,
Read
go
it.
ahead, go
I
ahead.
don't like what I wrote, so I need
Okay.
your help, because I'm ending it in a preposition. Create a project list for the select board to prioritize items to obtain grants for.
I think it's probably just reversing it. Sounds like prioritize existing list of projects for grant application.
Oh, okay, hang on, you're right, we're not creating a list.
It exists already.
Prioritize. No, but then it becomes a select board function. If the list is already created, we just need it so that we can prioritize it.
Right,
us.
right.
Us five.
Prioritize existing list, right? It's an existing list,
It's
Yeah.
a living document.
But it's
yes,
not a-
we have a list.
right?
It's it's our goal as the select board. So do we want it on here, or do we want to stick it in the parking lot on agenda for an upcoming meeting?
I think we have to be careful about what our role is. We don't have the benefit of what committees have been working on and planning on. We don't have the benefit, we don't have the expertise. We can say this is something that we think is important, but there are a lot of people that work on this stuff. I would be,
Well, that's what we're doing with goals and objectives.
Right.
We're deciding
Yeah.
what,
no, I'm
what's
just hard
important.
pressed to say that's a select board goal. I think recommendations can be made to us. I like that. We can take that, I do think we should be listening to the community. And then,
Well, I think we do listen to the community, and that's how we form our decisions on things.
We're a representative
Right.
government.
Yeah.
Unless anybody has any better wording, I stick with what I recommended, prioritize existing list for grant applications. Does anyone have better wording?
I'd like recommendations to be made and for us not to make knee-jerk decisions about what we think out of all of them should be a priority. I think will alienate folks in the community.
I'm not talking,
Once those recommendations are made, I'm happy to endorse or
So
not
who do you
endorse.
want to do the prioritizing, Steve?
I want Dawn, because she has her hand on all of this, to make recommendations, and then Steve can bring them forward. But I think without that,
I think it's our job to make a recommendation, to tell Dawn what to do. If Dawn makes a recommendation, then Dawn's gonna say, I wanna fund a parking lot.
Right. Jen, are we getting
We gotta
away
give
from
her
what
a-
your initial thought
Yeah.
was about this?
yeah, because it's mainly about the departmental work, it's not committee work.
Okay.
These are like departmental priorities that they're putting forward, but they're the townwide projects that I'm talking about.
How would you rephrase this item?
I don't know, just maintain a list for
I like that.
prioritization.
That works.
Okay, maintain a list
For-
for
I mean, I just,
prioritization
like-
of grant applications?
I mean, it's just,
I just don't think recommendations is the right word.
So maintain a list for prioritization of grant applications?
I just think we need to get a better process down. I'm not really sure.
What words do you want? You are good at words, you can do the words.
My words are
Do you
gone.
want to leave it like this for now and we'll come back?
Sure.
Well, I mean, again, the reason why I'm saying this is because I look at the capital planning committee.
Yeah. Yes.
They make recommendations to us
Right.
after going through all of the projects. And that, I don't see how this is different than that.
So let me try to use my words again. We have annually a one-stop process for big opportunities for grants. And there's not a lot of eyes on what decisions are being made, right?
Okay, I'm following you. So is this something we just take up annually then? We review the list, we prioritize
I think so, like,
that.
I don't want to talk about the, like, committee work or the capital improvement, like, I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about the big grant opportunities that roll around, that we know what that schedule is. We know annually that the one-stops, like, we know we have site readiness, like, projects, like, we have a list of all of those types of projects. We know we have Main Street that we want to work on. We know we have the rail trail that we want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and we know, and Dawn is the keeper of the information of like what grant opportunities are good for which projects. And so like, if we have for each one of those, like Mass Trails, right? Like we competed against ourselves in Mass Trails this year, right? Like full stop, right? We didn't prioritize which projects we were going to go for. So we put in multiple applications and we competed against ourselves because that was what we did.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, that's what happened.
I mean, that's a weird program. It's a
Right.
good example, but it's a weird program because you could receive multiple awards.
Right, exactly.
But that makes sense. I'm glad you used your words. Now I understand why you're saying we need to prioritize it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you read back what our current language says, Nicole?
Maintain a list for prioritization of opportunities for grant applications.
That's better.
You good?
Sure.
Everybody happy with that?
I'm not.
Okay.
Because I'm still not clear. There already is a list, so we've already maintained the list. Who will be the actor of prioritizing the list?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like we should have a say in some of that.
All right, so
Right,
we need to
like-
review this list then
Right.
before the one-stop deadline, well in advance of the one-stop
Right,
deadline.
which isn't until June. So like, so what we've been doing for the last couple of years, when I say we, it's just a handful of stakeholders. It's usually what, senior center, it's like usually the main department heads. And John was involved in this last year. And we all sat down and we brainstormed what projects are people wanting to put in for the one-stop. And then so out of that, Dawn now has a list of projects that people were interested in pursuing.
Because you only have a certain amount of one-stop grants that you can apply
Exactly.
for. And so that makes sense. I think if we word it that way, that this is not to impede, committee work or anything else, but town-wide, that makes sense. No? You don't think so?
Prioritize a list of projects to apply for grants.
I mean,
We're all saying the same thing.
Yeah, we're
It's just
saying
a
the
matter,
same thing.
now it's a matter of.
The question
wording
is,
it.
do you want it coming before the select board for approval or not?
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to be in the know every time I see, we got a grant. I'm like, well, that's cool. How'd that happen?
Correct.
So I would love to know, but
Can
I
we
don't,
just-
I don't want to thwart the process. So maybe it's not a goal.
Procure a list to the select board for
Well, I like what you
prioritization of
said before,
opportunities for grant
whatever.
applications.
It's fine. As long as we have a list that's delivered to us, that's fine.
Are you on board with the select board prioritizing these items?
I mean, there's a whole pile of different levels of review. Prioritizing is very high. It could just be your input.
Right.
Well, I think, that's why I think.
Provide
Steve
input.
should come with the
Provide input.
recommendations, and
So I'd say
then
provide input.
we can weigh in
Because
as well.
Jen had a very good example, but, let's talk about site readiness.
Who?
We could talk about the site readiness grant.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
We could use that for Tadjil to work on Tadjil, or we could use it to demo 8 Berkshire Ave. I'm making those decisions with various stakeholders.
Right.
So I guess, to Jen's point, the question is, do you want input on that? Do you want to prioritize those things and help with those decisions? Maybe there's reasons why we don't end up following the priorities, but right now, those decisions are being made at these stakeholder meetings. John was there, Jen was there last year. And we all kick it around and we all decide, well, okay, that's the one that makes sense. So,
Well, I mean, the EDIC was also involved in this, so, I mean, that, so
Initiate a
there are
comprehensive
other,
review
there are other
of grant
groups that are also
application.
involved in it.
John just tossed out provide input. Maybe that's it. Maybe
I
we just-
didn't hear.
Maybe we just need to provide input because we can't all be in that meeting that Jen and John got to attend. We can't all be there, or it's a select board meeting. So maybe we just get to see the work that's been done and provide input.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, I didn't hear all of that.
I think we just tossed out the words provide input, so provide input on list of, and then the rest of it that you have.
provide input for prioritization of opportunities for grant applications.
Townwide grant applications.
Jen, does that, this was your recommendation, so I want to make sure it fits with your thoughts.
We're gonna get to the flavor of it, so it's fine.
She feels it has the flavor. Again, well, we can clean it up. I don't think we're voting on these tonight, right? We decided we're going to vote on these at our next meeting when they're cleaned up.
Okay.
All right, I just don't want us to get too stuck. Anyone have any other items for achieve long-term fiscal sustainability?
So I actually have a question. So we didn't have this problem on goal number 6, but now that we're on goal number 5, we now have objective number, oh, nope, we don't have anything, never mind. I withdraw my
I think I
question.
can think what you're thinking.
Yeah, I
now.
withdraw the question.
Okay.
It'll come up again though, I'm sure.
All right, so let's go on to number 4. We can always
Can
stick with that.
I still have one for.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Steve.
Yep, that's okay, I'm sorry. This year I need to renew the town's power purchase agreement for the town buildings. So if you could add that in. Not the residential aggregation, this is town buildings.
Are you talking fiber optics?
Electric,
Electric?
yeah, electric purchasing power agreement.
Would we put that under objective 4 to improve financial operations, or is that a new objective?
Oh, I don't know. I was putting it under 5.
We don't have a number 5, that's goal number.
Five.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. It doesn't matter to me where you put it.
Okay.
Does that belong under address town building and infrastructure?
This is money, a money thing.
It's money.
Yeah.
Okay, so long-term fiscal sustainability.
Increase capital.
Okay.
Objective 4, or,
Objective 1 maybe.
I think my objective 4 got cut off.
you know, we could change objective 1 because
It
there's
could be in the
only
one.
there's only one DLS item left. And it doesn't, who cares if it's coming from the DLS, form a government study committee?
Didn't we say we were going to change that to improve financial operations?
Yeah, so that would fit under that.
I did not hear anybody say
Yeah.
that to me.
We probably.
No, that was objective number 4,
No,
improve financial operations.
Oh, I actually think that we said we were going to change objective number 1 to be just improve financial operations and get rid of the DLS.
Yep.
That's the first time I've heard that.
I see what you did though. You created a new objective.
Hang on a minute, let me fix it.
and then it could fit under
And
that.
thank you, by the way. I'll keep saying it because nobody likes taking notes.
Can I just ask that everybody just only talk at one time?
Unlikely, but thank you for asking. No, we're going to. No,
I'm
yes.
having a hard time.
No, we can wait to be acknowledged by
Doing a
Whitney.
great
Yeah,
job.
yeah. Do you need me to repeat that?
Yes, just, yeah, give me just a second. I need Steve, I want to repeat what Steve's recommended goal was. Hang on. Okay, and so objective number 1 is now going to be,
Improve financial operations.
okay, and then what are we doing for the renew, what is it, Steve?
Yeah, so it's renew the town's power purchase agreement for municipal buildings and facilities.
It's under 5. Yeah.
I'm sorry, the town's power purchase agreement, what?
For municipal buildings and facilities.
Okay, I'm ready to move on.
I'm so sorry to ask, where did the electronic payment go? Was that under goals?
So that is now under number 1. That's actually action item number 3.
Okay, so it is under long-term fiscal sustainability.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we have, I'm sorry, yeah, so
Yeah.
number 1 is form a government study committee. Sorry, it's number 2. Number 2 is research feasibility of a townwide electronic payment system.
Okay,
Number 3 is the power purchase.
okay,
And then number 4 is apply for cultural district designation under objective 2. Number 5 is the prioritization of the grants under objective 2. And then the 2 health insurance ones under objective 3 are action items number 6 and 7.
okay,
And then that's it.
thank
And
you.
then I got rid of objective 4.
Well, we have holds on the health insurance ones, right?
Well, they're still there.
They're still
I
there.
didn't remove them.
Okay, anyone have any other additions? Or are we ready to move on?
If the cultural district is under this, then we should add certified local government designation, if that's possible, which Jill Beerley is the keeper of all of that, but that also would open us up for grants.
What's it called?
Certified
Local government.
I know very little about this.
Yes. So Nicole
Is that a
will have
historical
to talk.
thing?
It's a historical
Okay.
thing.
Do you want me to add it?
Sure, if you keep the word apply versus receive,
Apply for certified
local government.
local, oops,
Status?
Government.
Just
No,
local
it's like a federal program.
Okay.
government designation.
Certified local government designation, sure, yes.
Okay. Thank you. We ready for number 4, strengthen human resources and staff development?
Sure.
I think we have a few here. I think the only one that held over was implement recommendations of the organizational structure review of the finance department.
So we were talking about that one earlier, John, where we were talking about how can we edit this so it encompasses town manager, chief of staff, whatever we envision for the positions.
So doing an organizational review, but that is different. So like creating an org chart, is that what we're talking about?
I would
No,
love,
we already did it in 25.
Okay.
Yep.
So then what exactly is this charge, if it includes everyone else?
Well, so I'm going to say this, how do I say this without upsetting Steve? So we had been talking for a long time about what we envisioned for whether it's chief of staff, a finance director, a town manager, an assistant town manager, sorry. And then there was creation of the finance director before we had our big conversation about this. So I guess my question first and foremost is this no longer in our purview as a select board? And does it fall to Steve to decide what he believes is appropriate for creating his C-suite?
I don't know if it matters because I'm willing to cooperate with the board
Right.
and make a position that fits everybody's expectations, so.
And I just want clarification, are we talking about an assistant town manager? Are we talking about looking at everything?
We're not sure. Well,
So I guess I would make the recommendation that we do the org chart, like how we envision, like we sit down and actually do the org chart. Town manager reports to finance director, to assistant town, whatever, that, or, right now it's plateaued. Steve
it's a
reports to
flat, right?
Flat.
19 department heads or whatever it is, something like that. We should fix that org chart somehow, and then that would determine what position we need.
I mean,
Well, the finance director now.
yeah,
I'm
I don't
sorry.
believe it. I was going to say
Yeah.
that. It's not flat anymore.
It's not flat anymore.
But it-
there are flat parts to it,
Yeah,
yes.
So that's what we have to look at, so probably the org chart,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, so creating a hierarchical, that's a hard word, structure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do we, or is that something that, we have the DLS report, is that part of what was put in?
They said the finance director, and they said an assistant town manager, grant manager, communications director. So we've already made good progress.
Yeah, pretty much everything's done. I think the last step, even the use of free cash for operating expenses has been, declining.
Right.
So, everything has either been touched on or completed.
Yeah,
I think the remaining item is the org chart and what that second tier position is going to look like and what it's going to manage.
Okay.
The initial recommendation was assistant town manager, finance director. It doesn't have to be that way. We could come up with a different combination. We could go back to that. I think the key is working together to try to identify how we want that position to look and what responsibilities we want it to have. And if we really want to talk about title, we can. That's, to me, the title's lesser of the issues.
Well, the other
Absolutely.
one that we added was the second planner, which is specific to economic development, which we had also talked about having rolled into this position. So,
I think that's the concern I have, is how
Yeah.
much are we gonna roll into it?
Right.
And that's why I would prefer not to be coming to the board 12 times with 12 different proposals. I'd rather just,
Yeah.
let's talk about it, let's figure it out, let's figure out what we want in there and make it happen.
Yeah. Yes,
well,
please.
is that something we figure out, or is that something that you make recommendations on, based on the DLS report? And with these new positions in here, what are you thinking is the right combination? Do we
Oh.
keep all the new positions? Do the new positions then get rolled into this one position? You know, I mean, again, we have to look
I mean,
at.
You're
I'm
not,
sorry,
you're not looking,
Jen.
you're not looking
Go
at,
ahead.
for me to answer this tonight, are you?
No, my thing is, we have a town to sell this to.
Okay. Jen?
Can I make a recommendation?
Yes.
As our, instead of all 5 of us working on it with Steve, like, why don't we just do like subcommittee situation where like 1 or 2 of us work with Joanne and Steve to like create the ideal org chart as a recommendation to bring back to the full board?
Well, are we talking about just a position or a complete org chart across the whole
mean-
town? Because the DLS only showed what that.
I
one
understand.
position would do, right?
I understand that, but you know, like in these conversations that we keep having, it's like, you know, I know I've talked with you specifically about like, you know, like your the flat organization and like, what is the ideal efficient model that we should be looking at? Is it working? Could it be adjusted? Would it be easier if there were mid-level managers or not? Like, I don't know the answer to that question because, and then, you know, would we start moving in that direction? Will we group departments together? We did the human services study and then we did the financial office study. So we have some recommendations, but like, how do you pull all those recommendations together into one comprehensive thing? And I think that we have enough smart people on this board that we could like form that subgroup to work with Steve and Joanne directly to come up with some ideas about potential ways that that could look like.
My only hesitation with that is I think Steve and Joanne can absolutely work together. I think when you cherry pick 1 or 2 board members, then those 2 people are having more say.
And there has been a lot of work with you and John on all of this stuff, so it's
I'm
like,
not saying
oh,
it
it
should
naturally
be
goes to them.
either
So
one of us.
I
It could
agree
be
with you. I
any
don't
of
really, there's been enough of that already.
I do think Steve and Joanne can absolutely say, this
Yeah,
is what
me
we
too.
want. What do you all think? And bring it to us and we can
Yeah.
all discuss it publicly.
Well, we have the DLS report, we'll use that as a basis and we'll,
That's what we're, so we really, it's up to you to come
Yep,
up
that's
with
fine.
recommendations.
So how do we phrase this item? First of all, are we leaving alone
Yeah, I was
implement
just gonna say.
recommendations for organizational structure review of the finance department? Is that fine? Is this, are we now
Well, I
creating
think
new?
we're done with finance department
Yeah.
for the
this
time
is the
being.
piece, right?
So I would want to remove the end of that sentence and say, implement recommendations of the organizational structure review of,
Yeah.
executive, I don't know.
Executive branch?
No, I mean, implement recommendations for the organizational structure of the town.
Yes.
What's that term you keep using? I think I understand the flavor.
The
Yeah.
flavor, yeah, I liked that too.
I think I know what you're asking for.
Getting that on a t-shirt.
So implement recommendations of the organizational structure of the town.
Yeah.
Based on DLS report.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be
Doesn't
based on the
have to be
DLS
based
report.
on
That
the
would just be
DLS.
one of our considerations.
Well, it's a starting point.
Yeah.
Well, okay, what else would we be looking at?
Well, maybe we disagree with the DLS report.
Ah, that's
and,
true.
You know,
Okay.
maybe because they said what, assistant town manager, maybe we want chief of staff. I don't know.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, we good with that one?
Yeah.
Other items for this category? Yes, John?
Do a cost employee study for pay, a compensation pay. So our employees, some of them probably underpaid or whatever, so we need to do a town-wide study on our pay scale for our employees.
I don't disagree. Steve, it's been 12 years?
It's been 14 years
14
since our
years.
last comp study. So on my list, I had doing a full, we've been piecemealing the job description review, which we've been talking about for
Yep.
3 years. So my goal was going to be to identify a grant
Mm-hmm.
to do a full study across the board of all
Okay.
the job descriptions and a compensation plan. I don't think we are that far out of line with compensate because we've been issuing COLAs every year. So I do think we've been keeping up with the market. We do compensation studies for all the unions. Every time there's a union contract that comes up, we always check comps. And generally, we're in the ballpark. So I think it's time, you know, it's been 14 years that the employees have, most of them, well, maybe 50% are still working on a 14-year-old job description, and we have not confirmed salaries, so it would be a time.
But they're not working on 14-year-old pay.
And,
they?
I said
I mean,
job
I think the
descriptions,
focus needs to be on the job descriptions. To your point, the unions are, you know, involved in this. And from what I understand from you, the department heads are also in line.
I didn't say that.
Oh, so they're not?
I don't know that. I said I would suspect that we are because we issue COLAs every year, but I think we need to study it.
Right.
I want an outside firm to come in and look at
And when
it.
they do these compensation reviews, typically job description is part of that.
Yeah, it would be,
Right.
they would assess job function, relevance of the existing job description,
Right.
make any changes,
Right,
which is what Joanne's been doing piecemeal.
right.
You know, every year we do vacancies, we always check to make sure that the job description's up to date before we fill the position. This year, when we had our assessor retire, we looked at the entire assessing department. We
Right.
redid every job description, we eliminated a position. But we're still falling short of being able to do all of the
Right.
non-union employees, and for that matter, union employees.
And this goes hand in hand with reorging anyway, doesn't it? So when you do
I think
your
so.
restructure, because then you'll find somebody has more responsibilities, they actually need an elevation, well, now maybe you compress that department
Mm-hmm.
and you have a mid-manager. And this is just purely me thinking about my work life outside of here.
Mm-hmm.
Go
I
ahead,
don't mean
Nicole.
to go down a different path, but
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the Human Resources Department and the workload to get something like this completed. Have we explored opportunities for interns who are working in this area, maybe at UMass or wherever, that could come in and assist with a project like this, even if it's more just administrative tasks?
Yeah, actually, I know Joanne's actually put out requests for interns the last 2 summers.
Okay. And got nothing?
Got nothing. I can do a better job working with her because that's what I do for my job, is career development for a college. But because I'm always hoping that it'll be somebody at one of my colleges, but it really needs to be UMass because they're business department.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think, you know, my conversations with Joanne is we're looking at between $35,000 and $40,000 for a complete study. I think she would welcome having a complete study done because she's doing job descriptions between other projects, trying to fit them in as she can. And if she could get this behind her, then that would help her focus on other things.
And that money, does that help pay for,
Revise job descriptions and then
okay.
do a comp plan.
And are you aware of a grant that could fund that?
In the past, we've used community compact grants, but we don't know if that's going to be available again this year. So we're reaching out now to try to find out if they're going to fund that program again. But, and I don't know what other grants are out there for HR grants. We'd have to, Joanne was going to reach out to some of her colleagues and, you know, we'll talk to Dawn, see if she can keep an eye out too.
I mean, I agree with Whitney. It is part of what you do when you're doing an overall comprehensive review, and it hasn't been done in 12 years. The question I have is, do we do it and it needs to stay within budget? Or do we go back out to the taxpayers and say, okay, we need to increase the budget? I mean, let's talk, real talk. If this comes back with like, okay, we need another $200,000, what do we do?
Right.
So it's, the taxpayers are already feeling the pinch. And through really most of this conversation, that has been why I've been more on the, I don't know. Of course, it's a good idea. It's more the repercussions of it, and how much more can the town tolerate in terms of the taxes going up. What I hear is they're interested in how the town is able to save money so that we can, prioritize other activities that, we can't get to because we don't have the funding for it. So I'm all for doing this, but I want it to come with the caveat that, yeah, here's the compensation review, and, does it have to stay within the budget? Or if it doesn't, are we prepared to go back out and ask the taxpayers?
Well, I am not going to ask for an override if that's your question.
Right.
That's a no. So every year we have new growth, we have new revenue, and my goal has always been to live within our means.
Yeah,
I can tell you, we are pretty bare bones already.
Right.
well,
Not a lot
that's
of
what I
places
mean.
to cut. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something that we would have to have an implementation plan. We would have to phase it in or do something different. But those are all things we have to figure out once
If we do it.
we can't make those decisions in a vacuum. We need to have the information
I
first.
absolutely,
So how do we phrase this?
Well, so first of all, can we talk about the objective itself? I'd like to make a
Okay.
modification to the objective. Instead of ensure all town job descriptions, evaluations, and HR policies are up to date, reflecting organizational needs, I'd like to do ensure all town descriptions, evaluations, compensation, if you guys are okay with this, and HR policies are up to date and reflect organizational needs. This way we don't have to create another objective.
is that gonna be done in 1 year?
I think policies should be separated out from that.
HR policies,
Yeah, that's a separate thing. We're always
I think you're
updating
right.
policies.
it's an ongoing, so we can
Yeah.
remove it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless we need a new policy, then we would put something on, but.
So now do we ensure all town job descriptions, evaluations, and compensation?
Yep. Are up to date and reflect
Reflect organizational
organizational needs. Okay. And so if we are going to put this review in, can somebody help me with the language?
Didn't you just do it?
I didn't do anything, I was listening. I guess for me, the question is the action item to review, or is the action item to identify funding?
I think step one is to identify
Identify
funding, to
funding.
conduct a review.
Right.
A full review, yeah.
Right. And if that was accomplished in the same year, you could move into the review phase.
Yeah, there's different ways we could identify funding. We can get a grant. We can set aside some free cash this fall, when we start talking about how we're gonna divvy up free cash.
Right.
There's different things we can do.
So when you say review, you're not talking about with a you're not talking about a third-party professional?
No, I
You're
am.
talking about,
Yeah.
okay, well, you have to identify the funding first.
Correct.
Right.
And there's several ways we could identify funding. So yes, you need to put in there, identify funding to
Okay.
conduct a complete, so it doesn't have to be a grant. We could talk
No,
about.
just
maybe free
identify
cash or-
funding.
So is
Identify
it
funding.
identify funding in order to initiate
Yes.
market review?
Yep,
Or order to conduct?
yep.
To conduct, okay, I like conduct better. To conduct,
Market review, is that what it's called?
Job description review, compensation
Study?
study.
and
Job description review, compensation study. Okay.
All right, let me just read it back. Identify funding to conduct a job description and compensation study.
So.
We want to include benefits in there as well?
Yeah, I guess Joanne called it a classification and compensation proposal. So yeah, we could include benefits.
Yeah.
Yep. Compensation is part of your benefits,
Job description.
or benefits are part of your
Yeah,
compensation.
I mean, that's part of compensation.
Yep,
Okay.
Okay.
yep.
All right. Anyone have any other items for this category?
Yes.
Okay, may I toss one out too? If you'll agree, I am tempted to put the code of conduct in here under objective 3. I know it's been floating around.
I think, isn't the code of conduct in there for number 7? It used to be under number 7, or we remove it?
It's in our parking lot.
Finalize
Is
it?
it, it's in our parking lot on our agenda?
It is, it's a parking lot.
So I'm gonna lean over, super close.
Oh, it was in there, did we remove it?
So we must have removed it.
We tabled it. We
Tabled
tabled
it.
the discussion.
Okay, so are we bringing it back? Finalize and adopt the code of conduct for all employees. Provide training and communication about the code of conduct. So that was there.
Does that fall under policies for HR?
Well, we just got rid of the word policies.
I know.
Does it not fit under establish and reinforce behavioral and ethical
Oh,
standards?
I think it does. Absolutely.
So we had previously presented 2 drafts to the select board.
That's right.
One was for employees, the other was for
Yeah.
committees and elected officials and appointed officials.
Yeah.
Why do they have to be together?
I don't think they should be.
Well, they're 2 separate documents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it should be 2 separate goals, 2 separate objectives. All right, so I was advocating for the employee one. Would anyone like to either rephrase that or add one for committees and municipal elected officials?
I advocate for the employee one. I think we were pretty split regarding committees and elected officials.
I did provide language that
From a community that, yeah.
but yeah. So if we do that, I'd like that to be included.
Jen, John, thoughts
Yeah, we should do them.
for both?
We were ready to sign them.
We've
I don't
already
know why
basically
we
written
didn't.
them. John, any thoughts?
I'm fine with the employee one. I mean, I think we talked about the elected one and committees is separate. I mean, I think it's almost like 3 different policies. Elected is different because you're held to a standard.
Right.
The voters aren't going to elect you again.
It's a
Committees are
policy.
appointed, so
True.
it would have to be, it's almost like you need 3 policies if you're going to do it, but that's
Yeah.
just.
For the elected, I mean, it was a policy that had no teeth. So I just didn't quite understand why we would move forward with it. Committees is different because if they don't follow a code of conduct, if we don't follow a code of conduct, we don't get reelected.
Correct.
If committees don't follow a code of conduct, Steve can opt to unappoint or not renew their appointment.
Is unappointed a word?
It's a pretty complicated process, but
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna have code of conduct for employees. Do we want code of conduct for committees?
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
All right. Do you mind putting something
Sure.
fancy in there? Thank you.
Do you mind helping me?
Lindsay says,
So we've already have we already drafted these codes?
we have, so approve code of conduct for
Just
employees?
finalize.
Finalize.
Yeah,
Adopt.
finalize. is a good
Finalize
word.
code of conduct for employees.
So then can I ask a question? Why would this go on goals and objectives? Why doesn't Steve just present it to us at an upcoming meeting?
And we can check it off.
It's something to accomplish.
Well, it's been, I know, you're right.
It's been 2
But
years.
Just do it.
now. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
John, I mean, has probably seen it, but wasn't here. We should probably.
All right, so what would you like me to finalize or approve?
We said finalize, right? We
Yeah.
finalize the word of owner, agree to finalize code of conduct
The
for
code of-
town employees.
And then a separate one for committees.
Okay.
Yeah, finalize code of conduct for town committees.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Anyone have anything else for human resources, staff development? Yes, Jen?
So, I know I said this last time, the HR department was never intended to be one human.
Right.
And originally, when we put that job together, we did have a meeting with the schools about their HR department. I'd love to see how much redundancy there is between the schools and the town, given that a lot of the work happens here in town hall. So I'm not sure what work happens here and what work happens at the school level.
So you want to engage in a shared services study?
Almost, yeah.
I think that's a really great idea. How much cooperation can
I
we
was just
expect?
thinking that.
I don't know, I just think it would be great if we
I agree, but,
figure it out.
What about, how about phrase the action item to maybe research the feasibility of shared HR services between the town and schools?
do we want to do it just for HR, or do we want to do it for all departments so it doesn't appear that we're just singling out one?
Well, we already
Well,
have
we're
some
on the
shared
HR
services.
tabs,
Yeah.
but yeah, we could,
You know what I mean?
we could
So,
copy it over to the
Yeah.
finance tab if you,
I'm,
And we've already done that for IT. We do already share financial services, so this would be another.
and some of this work has already been done. I'm thinking about animal control. So it would just be adding to that continuation on looking at shared services.
Yeah, I think
I just think, I'd rather us be egalitarian.
So the HR department, our HR department, manages 130 employees approximately.
Yep.
Joanne is also managing the benefits for the 300 and something school employees. The day-to-day management of those employees is being handled through the schools. So, for example, Joanne does onboarding and offboarding for school employees. So I think what we should probably be looking at is, what role the town HR department has versus the school HR department, and see if there's any overlap, as Jen said. But when you're handling disciplinary
Yeah, no.
matters at the schools, that belongs with the schools.
Totally.
They have autonomy from those things. They have
So
their own
you
set.
just single out the schools?
Right.
You wouldn't have the town involved? Because I can hear Brian saying, why are you doing it with the schools, but you're not doing it with,
No, that's not what I'm saying.
okay, good.
Well, because disciplinary would
agree.
fall under their contracts, and we're not in
Right.
control of their
We don't-
contracts.
We don't get involved with school disciplinary.
No.
actions.
I'm talking
We
about the
don't
like paperwork
get-
stuff.
right. We don't get
paperwork.
involved with interviewing teachers. We
No.
don't.
We don't do any of that.
So I think we need to be careful what we study, because it's not as simple as saying we should just combine HR departments.
Oh, no, I wouldn't
Right.
even suggest that. No,
Right.
that's not even what I'm saying. I'm
Yes.
talking about the
The
administrative
administrative side.
paperwork
Right,
stuff.
right.
So that, we could look at very easily and come up with a report. But,
Okay.
You know,
And how should we phrase that? Because I don't want them to think that we have decided this is happening. Like, it has to be
Yeah,
an agreed upon study.
yeah. Well-
first of all, what objective do we put it under?
Yeah, is it truly HR, or are we looking at across the board?
I guess it would fall to some extent under ensure town descriptions meet organizational needs,
That's
because
what I'm
this falls under
thinking.
then Joanne's job description. You
Yeah.
know, does it make sense that she has this multiple responsibility?
Well, and that's the thing, it could go both ways. I mean, does it make sense that Joanne's managing all these aspects for school employees?
Right.
Or should, their
Right.
finance department be handling? it?
Right.
So, or are there things their finance department are handling through HR that she should be doing? So I think that, I don't know how to phrase it.
I think, though, you're onto something, where we're looking at the organization overall, rather than just that one department. Although I understand where you're coming from, Jen. But I do think that what you've been doing anyway, in terms of, is this, are we, how do you frame it? It's the cost-benefit analysis, the ability to do shared services across departments, and across town services. I mean, that's what the police dispatch thing came out of. So this would be no different, and it would instead be looking globally rather than just zeroing in on the schools.
Nicole, do you mind reading what you wrote?
Sure. It goes against actually what Lisa just said, so we
Okay.
can,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
oh, I started typing it before you started talking.
Oh.
Perform a cross-departmental study of the town and school HR departments to identify and address administrative overlap.
That sounds good.
But that then begs the question of, should we be doing this for finance as well?
Or any department. Remember, the school committee is one department out of, what, 15?
But all the rest of our
Right.
town departments, HR function happens with Joanne. So like, we're literally only talking about HR.
Yeah.
That's all.
I would recommend stick with this one. We're about to have big changes in our financial world anyway, right? So with, new description, someone retiring, so maybe we just do HR right now.
Yeah, I think let's stick with HR for the time being, because I think if we turn this into too big of a goal, it's not
But
gonna.
It
it's
won't
what
get
you're
accomplished.
doing already. That's why I'm confused about this. You've already done this with some of the departments.
No. This is.
I understand it's a shared service. If we're going to do that, then what other services could be shared?
But I guess I'm confused because I'm literally only talking about administrative paperwork of like, I get hired, I have an I-9, I have this, I come to town hall, like I go over there and I get hired over there.
That's fine, we'll just
I
stick
literally
with
ran
HR.
into some woman who was gonna work for the school department wandering town hall, like she had no idea where to go. So like, I was like, why? So
Okay.
there's things that
Yep.
our HR department is handling, and there are things that they are not handling, and I'm only talking about like benefits and like paperwork, like I'm not talking about anything else, and I'm talking about like digitization, like is it digitized, like how many redundancies could there potentially be? I have no idea, because I don't
Yeah.
work in this world, I have
So-
no idea.
I think that, trying to figure out how to phrase this so it makes sense to everybody.
No, I think what you have makes sense.
Yeah.
Why don't we just stick with that?
But I think the bigger gain, and it may cost some money, is how many of these HR functions can we automate through employee portals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Implementing technology.
Yeah.
Joanne is doing so much manual work.
Do we have an HRIS system for benefits? Or for anything, for,
They use Munis.
Well, Munis for
For payroll.
payroll and so Joanne and I worked with our insurance carrier over the winter for voluntary benefits.
Yep.
So your, cancer,
Yep.
all those, dental, all that stuff. They now have an employee portal set up. So
just
that-
for those benefits?
Yep. So that if
So-
people want to enroll, they don't have to go to Joanne, they can go to a
Yep.
portal and they can log in.
Yeah.
So that's where I think the gains need to be. But at the same time, I do think it makes sense to just make sure that what Joanne is doing for the schools is appropriate, it's not being duplicated.
Yeah.
They're not doing things that Joanne's doing without that knowledge. The problem with this study is going to be that the school department doesn't have a central HR. It's scattered amongst all the principals and, that's
Interesting.
gonna be hard.
Right.
Because it's not central.
That almost worries me, that what will happen is the workload will come off of the principals and go on to Joanne. It'll only flow in one direction, and that does worry me.
Well, we're not gonna allow that. We can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the development of the HR position, like, we did have a meeting, it was before Joanne was sitting here, it was before we had the job description, and we talked about whether or not it made sense, and I think at that point in time, we were like, let's do this. The job was created out of a benefits position, out of the treasurer collector's office, and then, now she's been in it, she's been doing the job for a time, so I feel like doing an assessment at this point makes
Right.
more sense, because now that we have had a person doing the job for so long.
Maybe it's actually just doing a review of our HR director's scope of work and better understanding everything she does. Is that enough?
I was gonna label it like an efficiency study
Okay.
or an efficiency assessment. Just to make sure that,
So,
between the two departments, that things are being done properly and that
And so
there's.
this would be another paid study?
No, I think this is something we could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joanne probably has her fingers on the pulse of what's available for employee portals and those kinds of things.
Yeah, so if I can talk about
Yeah.
that for a minute. So like an HRIS system, obviously those do have a cost to them.
Sure.
But certain carriers, ancillary carriers like life and disability will pay for the license. And so really what will happen is, you know, she would go in, she would set up the employee name, address, social, date of birth, whatever, and then the employee goes in, they put in their, you know, their spouse's date of birth, their kid's date of birth, social security numbers, all of that. And then they make their benefit elections, and then the benefit elections, any changes, adds, terminations, somebody changes their address, whatever it is, get flow electronically to the carriers, often for free. I mean, that alone, I remember sitting and talking with Joanne, and she's doing this all manually by paper and email right now. So, I mean, that's something that I think if we were looking to, you know, create efficiencies, that would be something that I would want us to look into.
So efficiency sounds like the right word then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it does include, you know, the HR functions of the schools, just because there could be overlap, there could be ways it helps them.
Sure.
Maybe if we're gonna have to have a paid program, that they could share in that cost.
Well, yeah, and if it's one program where the school HR person gets their login and Joanne gets her login, they can do their own administrative and take some of that burden off of Joanne.
Right.
All right, so how do we rephrase this one?
So we're getting rid of this one and rephrasing it?
Is it
I still think it's a review of HR functions between the town and the schools, with a focus on efficiencies,
Using technology?
technology, yeah, implementation of
efficiencies.
technology, all of the above.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I
so-
think we have the flavor of it.
okay.
So,
Flavor. Word of the night, Jen. Got it.
Perform a cross-departmental study of town and school HR departments to identify and address administrative overlap and areas of technological improvement, enhancement.
Did you say the word efficiency? I really like the word efficiency.
Okay, in areas of technological enhancement and overall efficiencies.
sure.
Sure.
Want me to read it back? Or are you good?
Sure.
Hang on, I don't know how to spell efficiency.
You do.
Okay. I do know how to spell it, just couldn't get it out. Perform a cross-departmental study of the town and school HR departments to identify and address administrative overlap, areas for technological enhancement, and overall efficiencies.
Great. Thank you.
Sure.
I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention, in 9 minutes, we will hit 2 hours, which I had hoped to be my goal. We still have 3 goals to go. So, does anyone have anything else they want to add to this category?
I would just recommend, if there is nothing else, that we eliminate objective 2, which has no action items.
Enhance professional development and workforce planning.
That's ongoing, right?
Ongoing.
So I don't know if this is workforce planning, but I was gonna ask that we review the town hall hours of operation.
Does that fall under space use study? Because I don't disagree, but I want to see why. Like, where are people using the space? Is everyone coming at 9 AM? You know, I want to have an idea of what foot traffic looks like.
Yeah.
And when people want to come to town
Right, because
hall.
I don't want to make the assumption, we should close at 4 because everyone's done, but what if that's actually a heavy traffic time? So just seeing the.
We're one of the
That's-
only towns that are open 45 hours a week, nonstop. If you look at all the other towns around us, they're closed. They're either for half a day Wednesday, closed for half a day Friday. They just pick a day and they close. And during that 4-hour block,
It stays
they're
open.
working. No, it's not, we're closed to the public, but they're working.
But they're working.
They're working and they're
Sure.
getting things done, checking
Yeah.
email. The public can still email, let's say they want to go to town clerk, this is the only day I can go. You can email Terry and say, I can only come this Wednesday.
And they have a private
And
appointment.
they could come, but otherwise it's closed to the public and we can get more
Right,
efficiency
no, I
work done.
agree with that, but I also think that, that perhaps the hours could be changed so that they work late one night. And so for people who can't come in within the normal time frame, that they either have earlier hours or later hours to accomplish that goal. And then, maybe town hall closes on Fridays. They work half a day and, you know, they're off for that second half. But there's a part of me that would like to understand if that's something that the town would want.
So one of the things that we all overwhelmingly saw in the employee feedback regarding
Appreciation.
employee appreciation was wanting additional time off, how much they value their personal time. I think if it's something that we can do to help accommodate them that also accommodates the residents, kind of strike a balance.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to do that for the employees.
Yeah.
But we do need to just determine what makes sense.
Yeah, so I wonder if it's just a simple tracking system for a month, just for 1 month, and say, this is when all of our traffic flow is. But so does that fall into space usage study, or is this
I
different?
think that's workforce planning.
Yeah,
I think we could keep it in here.
Okay.
You know, and I want to be
agree.
clear, because I know people at home are listening, we're not going to, the employees are still going to work 40 hours.
Sure.
We're not giving people extra.
No, it would be closing their offices to do administrative tasks.
Well,
Yeah.
but also if there's
Is this yours?
an interest in half-days on Fridays, but in return, they stay open later or do a split, you know, some in the morning, some in the afternoon,
Yeah.
then, I don't know, that's something that we did at one of my positions, and people liked it.
Yeah, I think that's something we can talk to the employees about. I think some tracking, maybe we could do a public.
Well, that's the
survey.
thing, I want to make sure that the public wants something like that too, not just, you know, because I've seen it done elsewhere.
Right.
If the public is fine with the hours as is, then fine.
Yeah, I think the, you know,
plugs into
today, in today's age, we have,
Did you see this one right there?
you know, we have the Dropbox, but we've moved so far towards having internet access for bill paying and in other business that, you know, what I want to do is encourage people to use those venues first
Yeah,
and allow the employees to work as efficiently as possible without interruptions.
yeah.
But we can certainly ask employees what they feel about, you know,
Well, and also,
having
what
late
about a
hours.
work from home option?
Yeah.
You know, I
Some
mean,
employees
do
have-
employees have to come into the office 8 hours a day, every day?
Right. Some employees, we have flex hours, but most of the, you know, town hall is primarily financial, and, you know, they're here all the time, because they're processing invoices, and there's things we would rather have them keep here.
I'm just saying, as we look at all this,
Yeah.
let's take that into account too, because that is happening more and more, that people coming in want to know that, like, at least one day a week, they get to work at home.
So
we're
how are
getting into the
we?
weeds, though.
Yeah, so how do we phrase this goal?
Do a review town hall hours, just leave it vague. I get the flavor,
Review of town hall flavor, review of town hall hours.
hours of operation. Yeah.
Yep. Anybody else, anything for strength and human resources
I
and
want to
staff development?
include, and alternate work options.
Flexible work options?
It should be a
It's the same
separate
thing,
thing, no?
optimal, you know, to,
Yeah, make it a separate line. We
It
can
should be a separate line or separate.
Flex
Okay.
work hours.
Yeah, alternative sounds like, I don't know.
Flex work.
I'm talking about the ability to work at home or to, you know,
Flex,
have Fridays off or
Okay.
whatever.
All right, I want to ask you all a question. I would really like to get this done tonight. I don't want to be here till 9 o'clock. How do we want to do this thoughtfully but efficiently?
I say we take a quick 5-minute recess and keep pressing.
That works for me. Do you all
What is
agree?
it?
5-minute recess and then press through. We've been sitting for 2 hours. My back could use it.
No,
Sure.
how many do we have left?
3, we're halfway through.
3, but I'm not even sure goal 1 is going to be
I don't think we should do that tonight.
very,
You think the robust
Robust.
conversation has happened? Okay.
it's the-
We might want to take that up separately.
All right, let's do a 5-minute recess and we'll come back with goal number 3. All right. All right, 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you again for taking notes. I really appreciate it.
recessing at 7:28.
Thank you.
This conference is no longer being recorded.
What's the matter? She ran out of here. What's the matter?
Oh, no, she just needed.
I think she has to go to the bathroom.
Oh. She was crossing her legs, is that what you're
She
saying?
said, who's going to the potty?
Did you see my text message? I
What did you
texted you
say?
2 days, I think yesterday or 2
About
days
what?
ago. Maybe I texted the wrong person.
You texted me yesterday, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Right here. No. I will though, now that I read this.
Steve, what do we know about the big man that was walking the hallways wanting to reopen Masa Mexicana?
I heard he's over
Big.
6 feet tall.
Yeah,
He's what?
very tall.
Oh,
Yeah.
nothing more?
So I heard it is Mexican food,
Okay.
but it's
Didn't-
not, I don't think it's masa. It's not him anyways. but-
No, but I thought he sent him or gave him the recommendation to come to town hall. Like they talked. Is his name Roberto?
Yeah.
The original, yeah.
So, but I don't know if he's opening it up under the masa name or if it's
Okay.
gonna be separate, but,
Do we know if there's any validity, not validity, but does it look promising?
yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's already been in the office talking about a liquor license.
Have there
Okay.
been any other inquiries about any other properties in town?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
No.
So nothing on the old pizza place?
I saw them taking stuff out of there, so I don't know what's
Was
going
it
on.
the rib people or somebody else?
I don't know who it was.
Oh, okay.
I didn't recognize him.
So I had an opportunity, I ran into the realtor for, next to Family Dollar. I think I told you that the cannabis place is gonna sublet. They're not gonna go in there, but they're
Oh, okay.
subleasing. And they're talking to an urgent care center and a CrossFit studio as potential tenants.
Where?
In Family Dollar, we're next to Family Dollar, that
Oh,
open
that's
space.
fantastic. That would be great. All right, I'll be right back.
To the Big E, like not for the concert, but like that's when the traffic is
You should go during the week.
Like, yeah.
No, you have to go during the week.
During the
You
day.
can't go on a weekend. 'cause
I always
it's
go on a Saturday and then I
ridiculous.
hate my life.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
What?
The Big E.
You want to go,
The
You know
first
what
day.
Angelo and I do? We
First
go
day.
at 9 AM on a weekday.
Perfect.
So we have the place all to ourselves, we love it.
I have a coworker who takes a day off every year for that exact reason.
Sometimes we'll go in the rain
Oh, wow.
if we're feeling really against anti-people.
Yeah.
You said that would be us when we're ready.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I needed wardrobe assistance.
Huh?
They do such good programs.
I had my first cultural council meeting last night.
How'd that go?
Good.
Are they starting to plan for winter light nights already?
No, not yet.
Still
They're
food
working on the
trucks?
grants reception.
Okay.
We do some special stuff for the grants reception this year.
I went, was it last year or was it 2 years ago?
Oh, at the house?
It was lovely.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was lovely.
At what house?
Denise
The Lacy
Smith.
Rose.
Oh, the Lacy Rose.
It was lovely.
They're gonna do it at Arc Point. They're
Okay.
gonna try to get some food trucks
Sounds like
there.
Mel.
Yep.
She's enamored. She's
Yeah,
always at Arc
I've seen
Point.
her on Facebook at Arc Point.
She's literally always there.
They're gonna try and get some cookies from one of the bakers. Is Lindsay is on vacation, do you know? Is she at
Yes.
farmer's market this weekend?
I know, I saw she posted her picture. She's like, I'm on vacation.
Yeah. So, but they can wait. It's not till next month. So they can wait.
They should go to like Ria's Sweet Treats or something.
Reyes, yeah, Lindsay doesn't
Well,
do
Reyes
cookies.
is not-
Lindsay's cookies. No, they
Reyes,
weren't.
but Reyes is not in Belchertown. You
How
talking
about
about Reyes
cookies by
Reyes
Ray?
or Rhea?
Rhea on Franklin.
Okay, Rhea, that's.
Yeah.
Don't forget this document.
She only has a cottage license though, so no like
Who?
fresh fruit, Rhea.
Oh.
I know, because I was
There's
like,
cookies by Ray, but she's out of town.
She's in Madison, right?
Okay. All right, are we already at 5 minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
What time?
7:33, let me turn the recording back on.
Till?
We're
As
done.
soon as we're
I
done.
think we have to finish it.
This conference will now be recorded.
Half an hour. Come on, I gotta go home and see
But
Big
that's
Brother.
okay.
Okay.
No.
We'll do our best. All right, so we're gonna try to do this quickly, but thoughtfully. Goal number 3 is improve communication and technology. We kept gathered data and recommendations to ensure our in-person and virtual gatherings meet ADA compliance. Are there any additional items to add?
I mean, I feel like we just heard our communication
Yeah.
plan, and they have great goals, and I think
Yeah.
we just support them.
Yeah, so to your point, I had written down communications plan implementation.
So I have 3 things.
Great.
And I don't even know where they fall, so I
All
just
right.
put them on this one, but, so the first one is, streamlining of committees with overlapping charges.
Okay.
This next one is probably related, research and implement methods for,
Can't read my own writing.
What's the
something
flavor?
resident participation in town committees. Oh, for increasing resident participation in town committees.
What, can you read the whole thing again? I lost
Sorry.
the trail on that.
Research and implement methods for increasing resident participation in town committees.
Okay.
And then research and implement methods for increasing resident participation at town meeting.
Okay.
Could I ask I agree with those. I was going to say the same thing about the last 2, but also research and what's the word you use?
Implement.
And implement strategies to increase communication, increase participation in town surveys. Because we basically get the same 100, 150. So
Well, I know we're cutting down on the number of surveys.
I know.
With their survey policy.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if that's going to
increase
increase.
it. Yeah.
Participation.
I think we
though.
need to just look at it, just the way we're looking at how we increase participation. I mean, basically, we want to increase civic engagement. And these are 3
So,
ways we do it.
First of all, does that even fall under goal number 3? Do I have the right goal?
Yes, and tell me if I'm wrong. Won't the new communications plan address many of these?
Yes.
I'm guilty of not listening to
Oh,
our
right.
meeting the
That's
other
okay.
night.
She missed
I'm
the
sorry.
meeting.
Yeah, no,
I haven't
she
done
missed
it
The
yet.
meeting, so.
Yes, they have a really nice new communications plan, and I
Does
do
it
think-
address all 3 of these?
Yes, it does.
I think it does. Now, I don't know if it explicitly says, and this goal will bring more participants to town meeting.
Yeah, what it
does.
comes under
Yeah.
is how do we know we've succeeded? And that was a piece where I was saying that, okay, but that, you need to work on that a little, like how are you going to do that? And so I do think this is good to have under there as, but not as no, I don't know if it's a separate goal. I think it's just implement the communication plan. And then these as, I don't know if I'd call them with an eye to increase. I mean, what we want, for communications to work, you want to have an engaged community. And I don't think it's because people in Belchertown are apathetic. And I don't know the answer to this, but I do think that having a goal that looks at, researching how we might do that and then trying some ideas, maybe they work, maybe they don't, to increase participation in those specific areas would be helpful.
I'm pausing because I'm thinking that probably falls under marketing of the town. But I don't think we actually have a goal for marketing of the
I
town.
think it's really communications, though.
Okay.
I mean, that's just, like,
Yeah.
if communication succeeds, and even to their, their keys to success,
This would be the result.
it lists it as a result.
One of my concerns is that communication is not our problem. I think our communications committee does a wonderful, I mean, look at what they put out for annual town meeting this year. It's not about a lack of communication, it's about,
No, but even they have said, if we see an increase, we know we have succeeded.
yes,
So-
that's a part of it, but it's, for me, I'm almost feeling like we have to, and we shouldn't have to, but I'm almost feeling like we have to incentivize. Like, how do we make doing your civic duty more attractive so that you want to participate in a year where there is no override?
Well, that is marketing. You're right.
Yeah. I just don't want
But I
this
think
to
it's
come
part
off.
and parcel with the communication,
Right, but I want to make it clear that I'm not in any way saying that the communications committee is not doing what they should be. Like, that's not at all how I feel.
I didn't hear that, nor am I saying that.
It's almost like, short of begging, what can we do to get folks to come out?
But who's the resource that would undertake that work? Is it,
I think it probably should be the communications committee.
Yeah.
I know we were all going to take it on at one point. It sits in the parking lot, I think,
and Kate?
with Kate. Yep.
Yeah. But I don't think that it's a lot to say, like, develop some recommendation, test some ideas. This is one we're gonna see what works and what doesn't.
So then, not to belittle what you're saying at all, I think this is important stuff, but then that goes back to, I think it's implement communications plan. Because
Yeah,
I've got it.
I'm looking at it too, and
Yeah.
it's exactly all of what you guys are saying,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, I think the problem with that though is there was timeframes in there. Not everything can be implemented in
No,
1 year.
no, obviously not.
But as I remember, it was as how we know we've been successful. Is there other places where they explicitly say that?
They had performance measurements.
That's what I'm talking about, the
They-
measurements.
Yeah, they're gonna redo the survey.
They even talk about the demographic changes in town.
Yes, they do, actually, because I actually talked to Chris Martin. He
Yeah.
took the community plan and ran it through AI for all mentions of communications in every single section of the master plan.
I tried to do it and I
And then
didn't
he
succeed.
refined it, and then he did it again, and then he did it again.
Great.
And they found all of the pieces that were in all of the plans.
Awesome.
So last week, I did not want us to go forward with the government study committee. I lost. Could you
agreed
give
with
me a nod and just can we please
Yeah,
keep it in
sure.
here specific to civic engagement, even though we know?
Sure,
Thank
sure.
you. I would appreciate that.
And then, this does not have to be put into this, but I'm thinking, have we ever considered, can we do town text notifications, like say?
We do that.
Town text.
We have an alert
You're
system
not
you sign
signed
up
up in the
for.
text
I have tried that 3
notification?
times. I think I am signed up, but I don't recall getting to
Yeah,
tonight's
that was one
annual
of the
town meeting.
first things they did, the
I
communication committee
get,
did.
like, every single day when they post meetings.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, I will tell you, I have gone through the
Scroll down the
process
website.
3 different times. Oh, well,
Creative
I've signed up for
economy
my own
committee.
agendas, but
I have two.
I don't
Are you
get
on-
text messages.
Are you
I
on a
get
Mac?
text messages.
no.
Almost
Sorry, we're
daily.
gonna talk
'Cause
about
I'm not getting them
multiple.
either, and I've signed up several
Me
times.
too. So, okay, so there's an improvement opportunity.
All right,
for this item,
so, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we calling it? Complete or?
I said implement, but to Steve's point, it can't all be done in 1 year.
No. But can we
Commence
make some
implementation
recommendations
of,
and try 1 or 2?
Was civic engagement at the in the beginning of their timeline?
Well, they have new resident information and onboarding, digital and print mapping systems, town branding standards, which those are nearly complete, accessibility standards, branding, wayfinding signage, AI.
But I'm not hearing, I want to know, how can we drum up participation of our existing residents to come to these things? What are the different things that we can do? We've done some things, right? We've done the childcare, we've
Yeah.
done the senior center. Remember, we talked about this, I wanted everybody to come back with 5 ideas that we could just try.
Okay. Put it
I'm
on
almost
there.
feeling like I want to keep it separate.
Okay, do it.
Because we know the communications committee is going to complete their plan. Like, they're working on it, it's commencing, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
here's a simple thing we can do. Ask the communications plan explicitly if these are things they're going to be working on. And if they are, if that's part of it, because I read the same report and spent a lot of time on it. And I did not get explicitly that this is what they're going to be doing. And if they are, then yeah, let's just keep it the communications plan. But if it's not, then, I'd still keep it with communications, but I understand why it might fall under marketing. But improving civic engagement, developing strategies for how to do that, is that something that the communications committee is explicitly doing?
Okay. I know you're gonna read it back to us as soon as you've got it.
Okay. So, develop strategies for increased civic engagement, i.e. for increased resident civic engagement, i.e. town meeting, town surveys, town committees. That doesn't address the overlap that we may be seeing on some of the town committees, though.
Yeah, but I don't think you need to get into the weeds there because we are not talking about unique usership at the moment. You're just saying increase engagement and then you can go deeper later.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that the streamlining of the committees is a separate, totally separate issue from civic engagement.
Yes, I don't think streamlining committees should be in there, but you're talking about volunteer engagement through committees.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
So the action item that I'm recommending on streamlining of committees, are you saying that should fall elsewhere?
Well, it should be separate.
Yes, separate, that's what I mean. I want a separate action item for it. Are you in agreement with that?
Say it one more time, I'm sorry.
I want a separate action item. We've been talking about this, streamlining of committees.
Yeah.
Because we talk about volunteer burnout, same volunteers on all the same committees. And yes, there is a component of that, of how do we increase the civic engagement, but I'm also wondering the makeup of the committees. And I get it, there's some committees you cannot touch because of state rules and so forth, but should we be looking at the makeup of the committees to make sure that they're not duplicating efforts amongst others?
Well, I know streamlining committees has been sitting in our parking lot for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it should be a goal or an objective, but what does everyone else think?
If it sits in our parking lot, we remain responsible for it. If we make it a goal and objective, Steve decides how it gets resolved, which is fine with me. So I'm open to either.
I'm open to either.
What?
I'm open to either one.
I mean, we heard a lot of feedback at Summit Part 1 about, what the volunteers go through.
Yep.
And I think we have to address it.
I don't want to get stuck on this. Does anyone feel strong about not putting this as a goal?
How do you feel?
I think when we look at all of our committees, if we start comparing all the various charges that they work under, in my head, I'm not sure where we're gonna find overlap to be able to, reduce the number of committees to streamline.
Well, where
That's
did this first come from?
Well, we've talked a lot about having too many committees and needing too many volunteers. And I think it really started with, we had so many vacancies on committees and boards.
Yeah, I think so too.
But that's, and to me, that's like the more important issue is how do we better market volunteer opportunities, looking at time commitments, coming up with short but meaningful job descriptions of what you'd be doing, having statements, that about inclusion, that we welcome new blood, that kind of thing. Just looking at the overall attractiveness and time commitment and what the expectation is, I think would be helpful.
Yeah, and that was your first thing, was committee participation.
Yeah, I'm willing, now that I'm thinking about it more, I'm willing to back off on streamlining if we can focus on participation.
I mean, I don't think it hurts just to review the charters and make sure that there's not overlap. I don't think that's a big lift.
I don't think it is either, but I don't know that that was really the intent.
Okay.
And, a lot of what I hear is, I don't want to do this for life. I've heard that committee you're in, once you're in, you can't, it's hard to leave. And
Once they look at our meetings, they don't want to volunteer.
yeah, exactly. But, but also, what can I expect? I mean, I think that's a fair question. You don't have to come down with every single thing, but like,
And you know what, that
What
can
can you
fall under
expect?
this for font, developing strategies for increased engagement participation, because then if there is more clarity over the expectations and the
Yeah.
role, that is going to get people more interested.
I had
It's like you hear people say, well, I have no time, but then if it was very clear what the time actually is, maybe they do.
one of my staff people was the volunteer coordinator. She helped, that's what she did. And she created like little job descriptions, and I don't remember what else, like what the charge was. I
Yep.
think that was part of it. But
Volunteers need
it
job
helps people
descriptions.
understand like whether or not it'd be a right fit.
Yes. Okay, so I think that one's fine. Just to keep moving along. Other items?
I have two for Directive 2, strengthening cybersecurity and technology. One was just put like a computer in town hall somewhere so we can, I know we talked about this, kind of go digitize so residents can log in. Oh, instead of them filling out a paper form, they can just log into the computer and the forms will all be electronic. You just type your stuff. Oh, I don't have a computer. You just have a computer, like an iPad, and you submit your stuff. And that'll solve some of our
So like
ADA
have a
compliance
kiosk
kiosks.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Can they not do that from home?
But if they come
Some
here,
people don't have computers. But like, there's computers at the library for public use.
People
I
don't
think.
have computers?
some people don't.
Some people don't have computers. That's
So if we
true.
just had like a kiosk, so like, hey, you got to submit your dog license. Okay, instead of filling out the form, you just go to the computer, submit it. It's electronic, and this saves on
I
resources.
couldn't agree more.
What form, so like what forms are you thinking of? Like
All
for
forms.
like a
All
building
the
permit
forms.
Everything.
or?
Everything. It
Should
should
be
be able to, done online, and we should have computers available for people who don't have one.
That would be a pretty low-cost thing to do, one computer.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, if you want a kiosk for public use, that's cheap. We don't have fully accessible online permitting yet. That's a software. That's
Okay.
a cost. So some things we do have online, some we don't. So if you want to automate what we currently have, so if somebody comes into town hall and doesn't feel like waiting in line, you may want
Yeah.
to just type it out.
See, that's a great perk,
That's an
right?
easy lift.
They don't have to
But If
wait.
you want us to go fully automated, that's not going to happen in a year.
Well,
No, I think just starting small.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and also make it known what you can do online, both at the kiosk and on the website.
The other one I have is just a key list system for all the buildings across town hall for safety purposes. So like we're starting to do it here in town hall, but it'd be nice to do it, even TBW, get rid of the keys. So everything is just
Yeah.
card key or key, whatever you want to call it, an app, I don't care.
Would be like an electronic entry system?
Yeah, so like Steve could go to any building, he doesn't, as a town manager, he should be able to walk in and swipe his town ID. And that's the other thing I have is CAT card readers, so instead of, in the military, we have CAT card for each computer. You have the employee, they have their key badge, or they have their ID, and that's the ID that runs the computer
How
system.
expensive is it? I mean, I agree
It's just
with
something to
you,
start looking
but
at,
I
or
like-
Kevin,
I
I think
like
there's
that
just a
idea.
cost that needs to start looking to, for cybersecurity as we
Yeah.
move into the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, it's a multi-year project.
Yeah.
We are starting to head towards keyless
Yep,
systems on all the buildings. We're starting here. We're not gonna have it complete this year.
correct.
But the main entrances will be
Yep.
keyless.
Okay.
They'll be programmable. The fire department's doing some work, the police department's doing some
Yep.
work. So that's technology that we're starting to move towards.
Okay.
And it's, you know, rather than do a $500,000 project,
Correct.
we're doing it in pieces. So over the next few years, there'll be requests going into the Capital Improvement Planning Committee for additional work. This building, we did the main entrances, and we also included some cameras for security. You know, so we're gonna be starting to lean towards that. The other thing that we did is we are focusing on one system, rather than have all these different isolated systems.
That's
We're
good.
gonna be using the same system as the schools and the police department,
Yeah,
the town hall, the fire department. They'll all be linked.
okay.
If there's ever an incident, the dispatchers will be able to hit a
Yeah.
button and zoom in on the camera,
Oh, that's great.
you know. So that's where we're heading with it,
Okay.
but we also recognize that it's a long-term, you know, project. But we want to get away from keys if we can, because being able to grant access to the building, even if it's just one night or one afternoon, you know, we could be able to do that through the
Yeah,
computer.
yeah, exactly.
So,
Well, and it cuts out the, you know, how many keys to town hall are really floating out there.
Yep.
But the question I have for John is, how do we make that a goal that's achievable for this year? Like, how would you break it down?
I think it just probably has to be like a cost study, or that'd be something Kevin can look at. I was nice thing, same thing like when we start buying like computers, you start buying computers with CAT card readers in them, so you start planning for the future. You buy one now, eventually your whole infrastructure is full of CAT card readers. And then you have employee badges that then, and then it accesses it to, this way if you do fire an employee or you let an employee go, you just terminate their access instantaneously. You don't have
That's
to worry
how
about them
it's done.
coming into a building or anything
Yeah.
like that and trashing it for some reason.
So for year one, it would be, we're going to have another study? Or what are you
Like a
suggesting?
procurement analysis?
Well, I think this year, the main goal is going to be, well, we've already started the transition.
Right.
I think the achievable thing would be to implement the employee badge system.
Okay, there you go.
We haven't, that hasn't started yet, but it needs to. It's been identified as part of this,
Okay.
because either we need to issue key fobs or badges. And
badges.
I'd rather, I said badges made more sense.
I think so, because it's nice then that if a resident comes in and be like, oh, you work in town hall, you have the badge on or something. It's not, and I don't think it's
No, that
anything,
would actually be
it's same thing with
great.
us. And we go to like, we're technically the emergency managers of the town. We should have a badge saying, hey, you're John Ritter Select Board. You can walk onto the scene if you need to be as an
I
emergency
absolutely
situation.
agree.
Yeah, and even walking around town hall, it'd be nice if someone had a lanyard and you recognized that they were
Yeah.
affiliated.
So you
with the
can ask for
building.
help, like, hey, where do I find
And also
HR?
that you can see who they are.
Yep.
You know?
Safety, it's just public
Yeah.
I need
safety.
some help here.
Yeah.
Let's start with the kiosk first. I have create a public use kiosk for residents to access automated functions and forms.
That's it.
Fine.
Okay. This one, I'm not so sure about. Implement a keyless entry system for our town buildings for employees and volunteers.
Start.
Begin
I
implementation.
mean, maybe just for this year that we, John, words for this year.
John Words?
Just
Yeah.
employee key list system or employee identify, because every employee could have the key. We can start buying the employee badges. Even, everyone should have them at some point.
Yeah.
Begin implementation of a keyless entry system for town buildings for employees and volunteers.
And volunteers, yeah. So committee members would have one too.
And elected officials.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's great too, because then you can actually see who's in the building and what
We're
times.
volunteers, I mean, that's us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
elected
get the flavor.
officials.
You get the flavor.
All right, so for other flavors.
That's all I got.
That's all you got, John? Jen, any items for this category? Did we actually implement communication plan as an item or
No,
some
because we
iteration?
kind of knew that they were gonna do it anyway, so we did a separate action item for developing the strategies for increasing civic engagement.
Okay. Do we need to call out directly implementing communication plan or no? Did we vote on it? I can't remember.
We voted on it.
Voted on.
We
voted
did
on
vote on it, we
So then
accepted
we
it.
don't really need.
We
to
already
that.
did it.
Okay,
Yeah.
unless, Steve, you want that.
No, I think that that's something the communications committee and our communications director are gonna continue to work on.
Okay.
You know, I think, by voting on that plan, you've already
We've already just given
put
it.
your support behind
Okay.
it, you know? So really, the only thing we need to do is continue to support it.
Well, and also ask explicitly if they are, did they see as their charge to include some of the stuff Nicole brought up about civic engagement?
And we created a separate objective
Yeah.
item for that. Lisa, do you have any items to add to this category? Nicole, any more?
Nope.
Okay, moving along. Goal number 2, ensure public health and safety. So we have currently maintained 3, provide a cost-benefit analysis for alternative protocols and resources for unnecessary and low acuity EMS calls.
Okay, so that one, the fire chief will be here on the 20th to present the report on that.
Oh, great.
Okay. Do we want to remove it if we have it on the schedule?
Well, it'll be
I
a
think we know the-
first goal that is
Yeah.
accomplished.
Well, yeah. Oh, okay. It gives you something to check off.
Yeah, and it is going to be completed in this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Install new sanitary sewers and disposal system, new generator and water distribution system at Sports Haven. Is that still achievable as written?
Well, the water distribution system is done.
I mean,
We're
this is
still-
ongoing.
We're still trying to find funding, so yes, it's ongoing. I don't know if we're gonna find funding well, we have a couple of different sources we're pursuing, so we'll know this year. So we're hoping to restart construction in the spring of '27, so it needs to stay on here.
Would
Okay.
you forward me the contact information for the new president? Thank you.
And then we've implemented Sports Haven Homeowners Association assumption of control.
And that can't occur until all the infrastructure is done.
So does it stay on?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's scheduled for, this is based on the election, right?
No,
No.
the
Election is
the
scheduled.
court-ordered receivership, this
Okay,
will remain in place until the infrastructure is complete.
okay,
When the infrastructure is complete, the Board of Health will issue a permit. Once that permit is in place, then the assumption of control will transfer to the homeowners association.
okay.
So this is probably 2-3 year.
And they're all in agreement, that's the way they want to go, right?
That's the way the court,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Any other items to add?
So I have one, and I think I'm going to get a little bit of pushback on this, but, so I want us to achieve a permanent resolution with the DOT and our state representatives for vehicle safety at the Route 9 Allen Road intersection. Understanding that, you know, this is a state and a state rep thing, but I just want us to do more to come to a final resolution.
Discussion, any comments?
I don't know what else, and I get what you're saying, I totally think it's unsafe, I just don't know where that
I mean,
falls for
if
us.
you read a Facebook post on it, everybody in the world has an idea of what could be done there. And some of them are actually decent ideas to consider. And there's certain things that we can and can't do. And a lot of it is not in our purview as a town. It's a state road. But it just doesn't sit okay with me just all of the accidents that are occurring there. I mean, it's a real issue, and I just feel like the state is just not putting enough effort into it, and I want to see us really
I
push
just
for
don't know
that.
how much influence would have. I mean, I guess what we could do, if you wanted to pursue this, is, you know, ask for updates, but honestly, I'm not
Well,
sure what,
I think Linda Leduc she's already asking for updates.
Yeah.
You know, we were supposed to have Jake and Aaron come in. That got to the parking lot. You know,
it's a problem.
call the news stations. You want the state to listen? Call Channel 22. I mean, it's a real issue. I mean, I cross that road every single day, and I'm a good driver, and I'm scared.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have to feel that way.
Yeah.
And so it's important to me that we just do more before someone else gets killed.
I have that concern about a few
Sure.
intersections
I
in
have a
town.
couple too.
But I understand what you're saying. I'm just not sure, from a goal standpoint, like, what would the action items be?
May I ask a
Pressure,
follow-up
political
question?
pressure.
I have a follow-up question. Didn't we vote on reducing the mile per hour speed limit in town?
Yes, we did.
What
Yeah.
has happened with that?
Well, that's been implemented, but that doesn't apply to, it doesn't apply to two different roadways, minimum of two. One would be state route numbered roads. And
Right,
the second
so
would be
2029.
anything that already has a speed limit established. It's only for those roads that have, they fall under chapter 90, section, I think, 17.
Okay,
They're unposted roadways.
okay.
So the townwide speed limit is for unposted roadways. So when you drive on some streets, you don't see a
Then it's
speed limit sign.
25.
The statutory speed limit's 35 and thickly settled. you know.
Okay.
So anyhow, I know over the years, the state has removed vegetation. They've tried to bolster their maintenance plans for mowing along the shoulders. They put in the flashing lights.
Right, and then.
Most recently, they reduced the speed limit through that area.
And I'm not sure that, like, saying, okay, let's have, you know, increased police presence is an idea either, because, you know, Kevin makes sure that, you know, all four directions are covered.
Yeah.
And because there are problematic intersections, you know, not just there, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, it's
I felt the
not
same
our
way about West
responsibility to
Street.
come up with the solution. And I'm not even saying it's not even Steve's responsibility, but I do think we're not putting enough pressure on the state to fix this.
Well, what if we just address the local roads and make them one-way only? Just eliminate people crossing
It just needs a
Route
divider,
Route 9.
and that would solve it, then it would
And
make
then,
it
like,
one way.
nobody would have to
That
try
was
to
one of
make
the
that.
ideas that you read on Facebook.
You just
Yeah.
gotta put a divider
Well,
there, and
I
it's
think the
one
ultimate
way.
answer is they're gonna close the road.
That's what I mean, like,
Yeah,
just close the road,
Yeah.
like, enough of
Yeah,
this.
there's no more gonna be an intersection at Route 9 now on the road.
Now, that might be
And
something
they are
that could
failing,
be,
they are failing on the vegetation, because there was a corner in the last 2 months where, you know, I had to reach out to you to reach out to them, because they weren't taking care of it, so they're not monitoring it. I mean, it takes a long time for the vegetation to get overgrown, so they're not watching it.
So can we maybe just put as a goal, investigate what we can do at the local level on that
Sure.
intersection and just be done with it and move on?
Yeah. Maybe some suggestions will come up that'll be useful to other intersections also. So I know it's a bad one, it's not the only one.
yeah, I think you're saying what I was going to say, and if I
Sure, go ahead,
didn't
rephrase.
get this correctly,
Yeah.
let me know. But understanding what other intersections in town are especially hot, so that, you know, we can maybe go down the list and look at ways in which, I mean, West Street was one where we saw a lot of accidents, but, you know, since Linda put in the red blinking lights, and it's not a, you know, it's enough of a deterrent that I think this would be good to get from Kevin, is to understand if accidents have gone down, just even over the past couple of years,
Yeah.
since some of these things were
So-
implemented. But again, putting together a list of hotspots.
The other reason I want to hold the state accountable is because you did share that email chain with me that goes back years with the DOT where, and this is not on Linda at all, I mean constantly, she's asking for updates all the time. And she'll get crickets, or if they do come back with a response, it's non-resolving information, like it's just an update, oh, we haven't gotten to that yet, we'll get to it soon. It's just extremely frustrating, and meanwhile, how many reports of accidents, and how many deaths have we had there? It's infuriating to me
Yeah, I
that we
think
have this and we can't do anything about it.
I know Kevin can put together a 5-year analysis of crash
Yeah.
history,
Yeah,
and you can see if these measures have been helping.
sure.
I think that would probably be the place to start, so why don't we at least get that?
I think that's a good idea.
That's an actionable item that we can actually
Yeah.
put an end to.
And Linda has some of this already, because that was part of what had us pass the town-wide speed limit.
So can I read this back? Yep. Just let me know if it's okay. Investigate alternatives to enhance safety at dangerous intersections throughout town. Apply pressure on the state to assist in resolution where applicable.
Sure,
I like that.
thank you. Other items for this goal category? No one? Okay. Do we need to remove one of our objectives then? Do we have an empty category?
Yes, we have to remove objective 2 and 3, which is maintain compliance and exceed standards in safety training and operations. We had deemed that as ongoing. And then expand staffing and enhance facilities for public safety departments. Which, we do have open items under that in terms of, what is the plan for our DPW building and our transfer station. But I don't know if that's a this year thing.
Well, we just created a goal for DPW, or sorry, no, excuse me, transfer station.
Maybe that's where it goes, under there?
No,
No,
it was
I
up
think
to
that was
1.5.
under town buildings, sorry.
If I hear what you're saying. Unless anyone has some concerns, let's just get rid of them for now. We can always add more later if necessary. All right, so then that takes us back to our favorite topic. Well, number 1, advanced economic development, strategic land use planning. I believe we stripped them all. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So this is the big topic. Do we add things back in?
So right now, Steve is at 31 action items, just so you're all aware.
Okay. Jen?
Onboard, new person, have our joint meeting. Those are 2.
That's 2.
There was a third. What was the third? I didn't write it down. I'm sorry.
I can't hear
Master
anything.
plan matrix would be,
Sure.
My
Master
guess
plan
for you.
matrix.
I didn't hear
all right,
anything.
so hire an onboard economic development planner.
Okay, so that's gonna go under,
Oh, good point. Well, because we're stripping this down, do we change our objectives?
well, it would definitely go under objective 5, I would think.
Strengthen long-term planning, conservation, environment, stewardship, that's probably where it goes. Or we create a new one.
Yeah, it would fit under several of these. That's fine. And then Jen, you said the quad board meeting, but maybe should we flesh that out more? Should it be something like, what's the purpose? Is it to create a 3-year plan?
Sure. And we just need, like, to all be swimming in the same direction.
I think the first step is to determine what we envision for the town based on some of the restrictions that,
I
or the
agree.
obstacles that we are now faced with. What do we want Belchertown to be?
Yep.
Well, I think that will
Just
shake
establish
out.
quad board meetings.
I'm sorry, what?
Just establish quad board meetings would be the action item. And then-
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to shake out, you're talking the water issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we get more data. And I'm not sure it's just a tri-board. I mean, I really think, representatives from, like, the planning committee.
It's quad, so it's what,
Yeah,
planning,
planning.
EDIC, select board, and
Creative
creative economy.
EDIC. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
We tentatively already have them on
um,
our approved calendar.
Do we want finance to be there as well?
We don't need them. I mean, it's an open meeting.
Yeah,
It's
anyone can
public,
come.
anyone can come. I think it's more of,
It's more like vision planning.
It's a
strategic
vision,
planning,
right.
Yeah.
So establish a strategic meeting, or, I don't know, yeah, we just leave it quad board meetings, it just makes sense.
Yeah, I just feel like.
Just make it
I mean, we
simple,
can Keep it
and
very
then-
simple.
keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah,
Keep it simple, stupid, okay. And then Jen, because this is your item too, master matrix plan. What do we, so is it too forward to say that we need to have it in a digestible matrix by the end of the calendar year?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a lot sooner than that. We have a
Yeah?
consultant already working on it. yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we just need to finish it, so.
right, because the master plan exists, the community plan exists. This is to put it into a matrix.
13 sections, there's 200 and something action items. and-
Yes.
So why don't we just set a January 1st? You'll have it done sooner than that.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah, unless the consultant.
but that'll give you,
back to us.
So
for
complete.
whatever reason.
Should I actually be calling it the community plan, not the master plan?
It's the master plan matrix.
Okay.
What objectives should this be going under?
Hey, where did we have it before?
I don't know.
under appropriate new business invest that aligns with the town charter and capacity, objective 2.
Objective 2, attract appropriate new business and investment aligned with the town character and capacity.
Okay, and
We
so,
might have to update these objectives, they may not make sense.
Yeah.
so Jen, the action item is what?
Finish it,
Yeah, I was gonna say
so we can use it.
complete master plan matrix.
I mean, it has come to my attention that it's probably stale information, but like, we need some sort of a template so that when we create these new goals and objectives, that it's,
Yeah.
like, to your point, it's a fluid document, it's a living document, it should be a living document, just like the communication plan that they
Right.
presented to us, like, the format that they used for that was like, that was great. They
Yeah.
took the relevant information pieces out of it, and they're gonna use it in a effective and implementable way. I mean, we were on this webinar today, and they several times, they said, what is the point of putting together a plan that sits on a shelf if nobody implements it?
Right.
Like, they said it a number of times.
Every organization does. I mean,
I know.
it is a standard problem.
Yeah.
But one I think we can overcome.
Right, so we're nearly there, and the great news is you're gonna have this matrix that already has so many boxes checked off and build from there.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
I have one.
Okay.
So this is in reference to existing commercial space that is available for rent, purchase, whatever.
Okay.
Whether it be down next to Family Dollar, or you know where they are. There's a few. There's not a lot, but there's a few. I would like us to develop relationships with the commercial realtors and property owners of open commercial space in town to collaborate on getting vacancies filled. Whether it's just a phone call and a conversation, or what can we do to help, or here's some ideas of what we think would be a good fit. I think creating those relationships could be helpful. And just knowing what's going on.
Yeah, what I like about your point too is you're right, it's limited.
It's very
It's not
limited, yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
And I like that idea. And then again, like we voted on last time, it's up to Steve to determine who makes those calls.
Sure.
Unless someone comes and speaks to us. And it
Right,
goes
yeah.
both ways.
They watch our meeting, they're
Yeah.
inspired.
Yeah.
So attract appropriate new business under number 2.
I mean, some of that's hard too, though, and you think about like, okay, I'm gonna call and you have this business space, I'm just throwing it out there. We
Yeah.
have this open space next to CVS.
Yeah.
And we want this business in here, sure, we can say this fits, but the business owner who owns that building might not want that business.
Oh,
Or the
absolutely,
rent,
sure.
so
This is not
we're
us-
building a false relationship too, so we're attracting this person and Steve's credibility, like, oh yeah, I got this space for you, but then he's putting his name out there and the business owner himself is not doing what they're supposed to do, so we're just, I don't know, I'm just,
It's just part of
it's
collaboration.
double-edged sword, I guess, a little bit, I know.
How does
How does that,
put Steve in a predicament?
yeah.
Just to
Unless,
want
are
to
you
create a
saying
relationship.
that there might be other people he has on the hook?
I don't know, it's not, we know what the business is, like, the changes all the time, I'm just saying, like, we know, what, I guess I don't know what you want Steve to do with that, like,
It's about knowledge, it's about gaining knowledge, possibly collaboration. Could a prospective business owner want to come and talk to us to learn more about Belchertown? There's 2 businesses that are looking at the space next to Family Dollar right now. Do you know
That's
what they
right.
are? I do.
I do too.
I don't know.
Okay, it's just about having knowledge.
But that's
all.
where, I guess that would be the economic planner.
I actually thought that was more something we would take on, not Steve.
I feel like we all should be kind of part of this. And we're not talking about new stuff. Like, I don't think any one of us should be picking up a phone and calling a developer and saying, hey, come look at Belchertown, because
No.
that would be a
Please don't.
stupid
Well,
move right
and
now,
also
right?
that is what the EDIC is doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for a space down the hill that has been empty for years, that a cannabis shop is looking at,
Yeah.
I want to be all over that to get something different into that space, and I think we should all be a part of that, if not one of us.
So what I hear you saying is it's not asking for get a business in there. It's
No,
learn
no,
more
no.
information.
Yep.
Who is the business owner? Let them know
Who's
that
the
we recognize
realtor?
that
Who's
they
the
are,
business
they are
owner?
a part of our town.
Yep.
I'm
See
fine
what
with
you're
that.
saying?
I am too.
We're going to make you do it, John.
I've attracted business and I reach out to businesses all the time.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
You
well,
do.
then
So then
you're the guy.
there's nothing
But I
new
would
about
refer
it.
them to the business owner, so if they said, hey, we have business opportunities in Belchertown, I would say, go, call the group down there, there's a building down there, look into it, call
Yeah.
DDIC, like, I attract businesses and talk to businesses all the time and network.
That could also
It's
be
not,
like.
I mean, my foot ends there, I can't negotiate a contract with the
nobody's
building.
asking
Saying that.
I'm just
We're
saying,
saying we're gonna do the same thing you're already doing.
That could be a great first 30 days for the economic development planner too, just to call and say, this is
Yeah.
my new role. I'm learning about the businesses in town. I'd love to learn more about your space.
Yeah.
Well, outreach is certainly something I was gonna ask that individual to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Keeping their fingers on the pulse of what's available in town, I think, I would like to see that person do that too, kind of keep an eye out for, check the real estate
Yeah.
listings,
Yeah.
I mean-
But, so, I think I get the flavor of what you're saying. If somebody calls town, because it's happened to me, somebody's called up, said, I want to put a laundromat in. And then I had to think about it, all right, driving around town, where did I see signs, for buildings or space? So, having that economic development planner, already have knowledge of different things. But I don't think marketing, I don't want to compete with real estate
This
agents.
is not marketing. This is
No,
just
could be.
creating
Yeah.
a relationship and open dialogue.
And I haven't heard her say anything more than that.
Right, well, I think that was kind of John's concern is.
Another
We don't
one
want to be
is-
competing with realtors.
We had somebody walking around town hall who got lost trying to figure out how to restart the
process.
Mexican restaurant.
Oh, wow.
What can we do to
Yeah.
be of the most assistance possible to make that process as easy as possible for them?
Sure.
Yeah, And that's something that planner position could help with.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree with that.
we could keep talking about this forever. I think that that's good. Anybody have another item for this category? Correct me if I'm wrong, have we completed this to its full potential of surplusing I know we've gone through the 190 parcels, we've
Yeah,
narrowed
we
it
have a
down.
dozen parcels that I should probably put out to bid, but they have zero value. I don't, the town planner recommended that we give half of them away just to get them off the books. It hasn't been a priority for me to
Right.
devote my time to that.
That increases our revenue, though, if we, doesn't it increase our tax?
By a couple $100.
Okay.
I mean, these are like, some of these properties are 500 square feet, 1,000 square feet. I mean, they're tiny, tiny pieces.
I hesitate to even say this on record, but, like, lots of places, they give land away as a marketing incentive. Be like, come to Belchertown, and, there's,
Wow.
like
Every
Italy's
year.
always giving away castles for $1,000.
I know.
They
Well,
really
yeah.
are. Isn't that
I know,
crazy?
I know.
Because I want one.
I know.
Sounds like a good
I'm
time.
not saying I necessarily would say, let's do that right away, but
Yeah,
if we're still allowed to
there's,
sit there because we say they're valueless.
none of these are
they?
developable. That's the
If
issue.
they're that small, there isn't. I mean, what can you build on 500
Yeah.
square?
We own,
Maybe you don't get a build.
like 10 or 11 lots that run along the Belchertown Ludlow line.
No.
At some point, they moved the property line, so now all these
Little,
Slivers.
little slivers,
yeah.
or they moved the town line, I guess, through a survey at some point. So all these little slivers were created. I mean, it's just oddball stuff.
And you talked about abutters, seeing if any of them wanted them.
Yeah, that's what we
So-
need to do.
Do we need to keep it as a goal? Because the project, you went through the task of going through all of these pieces of land. Should we complete it?
Yeah, I can get something out. I don't even know if we're gonna be able to hire an auctioneer, because there's not gonna be enough return on time.
John, you could do that too.
Try to practice my
So we can figure
auctioneering.
that.
We didn't,
So-
we had taken that off. So,
Okay.
okay, can you tell me
We
where?
don't have to. I was thinking about adding it back in.
I don't know.
We can, I just need you to tell me where to put it and what it says.
What
I'll
is
look
the,
at it.
what's the payoff?
I don't think
That's,
we need the
that's my point. That's
Yeah,
why I'm not
not so
rushing out.
sure
Okay.
it's something we need to,
Is it does it create any workload for you to keep these things on the list?
No, I mean, there are a few that I would like to try to move, because I think abutters would want them.
Yeah.
And that would help with our taxes, but it's not a big return for the investment.
and you're going through the list as you can, right?
Yeah, we
I mean,
went
it's
through.
not, this is small.
Yeah, it's a small test. We have, it's deceiving, because there's 191 properties that the town owns,
Right.
but a lot of them are clusters. So there's a reason why we own them, because they make a larger cluster for open space.
Yeah,
I talked to the town planner about combining those. He said logistically, it's just a pain in the neck, because you have deeds, you have all this stuff. So when
Is
you
there a
look at a
plan for a
list,
soccer
they're all
plan
separate.
anyway?
But if we combine them, the list would be half the length. But
is there
it's just-
any
There's no
room
benefit
for
to
a
doing it.
soccer plant?
Oh, yeah, there's,
Soccer,
yeah.
okay,
yeah.
so there's a field for that?
Well, any additional recreation space is probably gonna have to be,
Well, I know there was
Clear.
one that you were looking at that you thought potentially could be, but then there's no egress.
the abutter that we were gonna purchase some property from is on hold, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would require clearance. We would have to go on and clear and develop the site, but
But these little, they're not,
no,
Yeah,
there's nothing really.
Well, then you at least did what you said to the town that we would
Yeah.
do, which is to at least look through these properties.
And I'll try to figure out how to get rid of them.
Okay.
So are we finished with economic development, which would mean eliminating objectives 1, 3, 4, and 6? Or do we keep this document? Leave it alone for now and just keep the ones we just added?
Well, does anyone have any other items here? If not, I'd say go ahead and get rid of them, and we'll have a clean document to vote on.
So then the question becomes is after we have these quad meetings and we have this eureka moment, are we gonna go back and
then we
make edits?
revisit
Okay.
this.
I personally think that it's our right to add additional objectives or goals, but we always have to be thoughtful about, are we creating enough time?
Well,
for it
it's,
to
it's
be
more, we just don't have the
sufficient.
information in, and until we have those meetings,
Yeah,
it would be unfair
yeah,
and maybe even foolish to come up with anything more.
okay. So no one has anything else?
No?
All right.
Steve, you've got like 30, 35 objectives, I think.
It's an
Or,
improvement.
Not objectives, action items.
How many goals?
Still 6 goals.
6 goals with,
I just want to clarify, they're not all Steve's goals,
Correct.
they're all of our goals.
We actually-
This
Yes,
whole
we know
room.
that.
But I know, but you
We've
keep
done
saying Steve has 35. I want to make sure it's all of us.
thank you for reminding us. You're right. This is the town's goals.
Yep.
Steve's town manager.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's-
I think we all
it's
know
the town
that. It's
goals.
just-
Yeah. All right. Anyone have anything else, or do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to
I make a motion to
Second.
adjourn.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Unanimous, 500, 8:28. Thank you, everyone.
This conference is no longer being recorded.
So, Steve, what would you like me to do with this?
You want to email it and I'll have Abby clean it up?
Good night. I'm
Should
going
I
home to eat,
also-
to listen
Thank
to
you so much.
baseball.
All right.
My son's at baseball.